The Ground Report with Mickie K, Andy Williams, and Lennox Smith.
Bang, 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 bang.
Shine. Out of the ashes we rise. There's no one like you. None like you. Our God is greater. Our God is stronger. God, you are higher than any other. Our God is healer, awesome in power. Our God, our God. Our God is greater, our God is stronger. God, you are higher than any other. Our God is healer, awesome in power. Our God, our God. And if our God is for us, then who could ever stop us? And if our God is with us, then what can stand against? And if our God is for us, then who could ever stop us? And if our God is with us, then what can stand against? Stand against.
you want speed?
Water you turned into wine. Open the eyes of the blind. There's no one like you. None like you. Into the darkness you shine. Out of the ashes we rise. There's no one like you. None like you. Our God is greater. Our God is stronger. God, you are higher than any other. Our God is healer. Awesome in power. Our God. Our God. Into the darkness you shine. Out of the ashes we rise. There's no one like you. None like you. Our God is greater. Our God is stronger. God, you are higher than any other. Our God is healer. Awesome.
The Ground Report with Mikey K, Andy Williams, and Lennox Smith.
Good morning, Ground Report. This is Shagonas. Everybody on the government side was amazing. They make me feel good. If they didn't have the opportunity to see it, you could go on the parliamentary channel and view it. Alexander, the Minister of Homeland Security, nailed it. The comrade from Labre, Comrade Elder, he bring down the house. The leader of government business in the house paint a real picture. He is the godfather of the nation. Yes. And Comrade Elder is the flag bearer of the nation. He deserved that title. He made the operation look like they nowhere. He had them playing the fence. The Prime Minister, she do what always do. Make everybody understand what the UNC government is about. She cleared all doubt in people's mind. I love the way the UNC handled the first meeting of Parliament. It was great. I must say, UNC win, Trinidad and Tobago win. Yellow is the code.
Stand against, and if our God is for us, then who could ever stop us? And if our God is with us,
morning, Andy Williams, Lennox Smith, Mickie K, Ground Report. How are you all doing this morning? I hope you all are fine. Over the weekend, Transport Minister Mr. Eli Zakur gave a presentation and he said that the government put in an order for new buses because he acknowledged that the Public Transport Service Corporation, PTSC, is short of buses. I want to tell him that that is a good measure, but he needs to inform the population as to when these buses will be coming, because a bus driver was complaining. We were talking to him in San Fernando. He works the San Fernando to Faizabad route, and he was quarreling that the bus drivers in San Fernando PTSC are working under sleazy, deplorable, shabby conditions. They're complaining that the buses in San Fernando are very old, they are defective, they are not fit for the road. When rain fall, they leak plenty. He also mentioned that the bus drivers do not want to put these signs, these sign cards on the windscreen. Mark San Fernando, Port of Spain, San Fernando, Guayari, San Fernando, Shogona, San Fernando, Point 14, San Fernando, Princestown, to tell people where the buses are going. They want buses with the electronic signs working. They are complaining that it is causing a problem for the old people in the night. They cannot see these signs that they put on the windscreen. And he said that they are not cleaning the buses. Many of the buses are stink. They are smelling frowsy. The seats are covered in dust, and it is making the passengers uncomfortable. That is why they do not want to, that is why they are very irregular. They are frustrated with the conditions and they are refusing to drive the buses. That is the reason why numerous routes are cancelling in San Fernando. They want all their buses replaced and they want a new fleet. Because right now, the San Fernando Port of Spain limited stop service, that was serviced mostly by old buses purchased by Patrick Manning. And the bus drivers, they pack up most of the old buses in San Fernando and they're not using them. Yeah, they're just leaving them there to corrode and become rusty and get covered with mold and mildew. That is why the San Fernando Port of Spain route is limping. Furthermore, they don't want any buses from China. They want new buses, strong, durable buses like Volvo, Mercedes-Benz, Scania, MAN, etc. Those four companies are telling you that they make good buses. I wanted to point out that Jamaica purchased buses from China, brand new buses, and those buses are leaking when rain falls. They are shutting down frequently, and it's the same thing happening here, right? These buses from China that Rowley purchased, they're breaking down all over the place and crippling the bus service. Port of Spain and Rima, right? Every minute a bus shutting down. And I want to point out the best bus service, right? Even though we criticize the PNM, one good thing they did, the best bus service the Trinidad and Tobago ever had was under the Manning administration. Patrick Manning purchased several new buses and they used to come on time. It was very reliable. He opened up several new routes. That was the best bus service we ever had. And he bought Volvo buses, because he knew that they would be revolutionary. In Trinidad and Tobago. So we await this new fleet of buses, and we hope that they don't come from China. Good.
The Ground Report with Mikey K, Andy Williams, and Lennox Smith.
Bang, 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 bang.
Listening, they're listening. Miss Brooklyn is listening what's taking place. I'm listening in the name of Jesus.
Good morning, my gentlemen. Hope all is well in you, and I hope you all had a wonderful Father's Day. I just am listening to your program this morning, and I need to put in a little 2 cents, both for Mr. Lennox Smith and for you, Mr. Andy Williams. I want a little dissect these texts to me, please. 1, thou shalt not raise a false report. Put not thine hand with the wicked to be an unrighteous witness. Thou shalt not follow a multitude to do evil, neither shalt thou speak in a cause to decline after many to wrest judgment. Neither shalt thou countenance a poor man in his cause. That is 1. I am listening to you guys. As much as you want to rehabilitate people, let us do everything according to the word. The Bible tells us that in these last days, they got real wicked people. And from what I am hearing, the man called, I was privy to hear a man call, and he was angry, and he said that, what they're doing in his perspective was wrong. And then other talking things kind of contrary to what the man said. But the man isn't wrong. You are having a program, and in the program, as you speak about the accused, the wicked ones, speak also on behalf of the victim. It is as though you people are trying to justify these wicked children in their acts. I don't understand it, but I don't know why evil does be getting so much airplay, and people who go through what they have to go through gets little to none. My gentlemen, the fair speech, and Mr. Lennox, your super college words that you like to use, come down on the ground, and I'm begging you, please. All you be fair in all your discourse, and I will have no problem with all you. Wrong is wrong, evil is evil. These children are evil. In the first place, you can't even blame parents, because sometimes parents train the children in the right way, and the children choose their own life. That is why you see we serve a God who gave all of us the power of choice. It is wrong what they did, and personally for me, it's not just rehabilitate. It's put them where they can get serious discipline. Send them YTC. If I want to find out something from all, if this child had died, would you have said carry them to rehabilitate them? So that's the solution to everything now. Let her kill people children and just carry them to rehabilitate them. Come please people, let's be real. This is a real world.
The Ground Report with Mikey K, Andy Williams, and Lennox Smith.
Bang, 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 bang.
boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Morning, Trinidad and Tobago. Time check. It's 39 minutes past the hour of 6 o'clock. Ma'am, I ain't gonna lie, I say carry them white boot camp and thing to put them on, you know, we had to bring back the generation and whatever. But I understand your point. You saying that I still powder puffing. You say Lennox playing the fool and I playing the fool. Well, I will say, well, I say rather the boot camp. But you saying, well, which you bring a good point in case those children die. Well, it's at the act day that them children go get charged for murder. They will get charged no matter what age you get charged for murder, you know. If you can't go no boot camp with that day, you have to go jail. I think that's how it is go with that. They want to go straight jail. Right? The victims, remember, we did say that government supposed to put things in place for the victims to rehabilitate. Well, for they to get some for they to be rehabilitated. You know, for they to get to see some psychologists and all them kind of thing. And but I hear your point. So you say no boot camp, nothing as the fight, just put them away. But your point is well taken when it coming to the victims. Because you don't know who go lose an eye, who go break, who rib get break, who teeth get kicked out, or who may end up dead, or who end up dead after the beating, a year, 2 years after suffering with some kind of concussion or something from that beating. Way after a year, 2 years, they now getting pain and all kind of thing when people thinking, well, when their parents will be thinking, well, it is something you know, that is from the beating 2 years ago. Yep. Oh boy. Let me play you once more again, boy. Let me just get in once more before I continue some voice notes. So I go understand what it is you're saying again.
Good morning, my gentlemen. Hope all is well in you, and I hope you all had a wonderful Father's Day. I just am listening to your program this morning, and I need to put in a little 2 cents, both for Mr. Lennox Smith and for you, Mr. Andy Williams. I want a little dissect these texts for me, please. 1, thou shalt not raise a false report. Put not thine hand with the wicked to be an unrighteous witness. Thou shalt not follow a multitude to do evil, neither shalt thou speak in a cause to decline after many to wrest judgment. Neither shalt thou countenance a poor man in his cause. That is 1. I am listening to you guys. As much as you want to rehabilitate people, let us do everything according to the word. The Bible tells us that in these last days, they got real wicked people. And from what I am hearing, the man called, I was privy to hear a man call, and he was angry, and he said that, what they're doing in his perspective was wrong. And then other talking things kind of contrary to what the man said. But the man isn't wrong. You are having a program, and in the program, as you speak about the accused, the wicked ones, speak also on behalf of the victim. It is as though you people are trying to justify these wicked children in their acts. I don't understand it, but I don't know why evil does be getting so much airplay, and people who go through what they have to go through gets little to none. My gentlemen, the fair speech and Mr. Lennox, your super college words that you like to use, come down on the ground, and I'm begging you, please, all you be fair in all your discourse, and I will have no problem with all you. Wrong is wrong, evil is evil. These children are evil in the first place. You can't even blame parents, because sometimes parents train in the right way, and the children choose their own life. That is why you see we serve a God who gave all of us the power of choice. It is wrong what they did, and personally for me, it's not just rehabilitate. It's put them where they can get serious discipline. Send them YTC. If I want to find out something from all, if this child had died, would you have said carry them to rehabilitate them? So that is the solution to everything now. Let us kill people children and just carry them to rehabilitate them. Come please people, let's be real. This is a real world.
Bang, 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 bang.
The Ground Report with Mickie K, Andy Williams, and Lennox Smith.
Oh Lord.
Oh, sir.
Yes, Andy morning I got on to Henry Veins last week Thursday, and he said that he cannot help because the people in Diga Martin Bagatelle to get the track pitch, which is 10 houses on that track, 10 households on that track. He said to get that track pitch, he can't pitch no track unless you have your deed for your house, and he can't help with the wastewater pipe either. That is a community problem. So, Andy, I really don't know. I really don't know how that problem is going to solve.
Okay, he says it's a community problem. But ain't he's the head of the community? In other words, it's a constituency problem. He's the MP for Diego Martin West. And they vote him, so I don't know neither. The leader of the constituency, the MP for constituency, say he can't help all unless all he deed with, so he knows all he no deed the certificates of comforts. It's bagatelle we talking about. What the man do is take a finger and push it where the sun don't shine it in all the tail girl. That is all the man gave a push off day. Because he know them in Diego Martin go and vote for him. He could say, for a matter of fact, I can't pitch them road all the deed, and I know all they don't no deed. All they certificate of comfort. So one, don't ask me to pitch no road. I can't help. He failed to say to and I know in government. Right, that one. Two, I can't help all the way to the sewer problem. That's not my problem. That's a community problem. So I can't help you with that neither. That the man say. That the head of the community, the head of the home of the Martin West. That the man will take over for Dr. Rowley. What he say? What he say? Listen, what he say? What he say? What he say? You ain't realize the man is in your middle finger there. That the man him senior there. The man himself tell him, well, come get a letter, let him organize and get a letter to go to the Diego Martin Borough Corporation that is fully controlled by the PNM and see if the Borough Corporation will be able to assist in any way. I mean, not with the pitching aspect, if they don't have that resource, but to deal with the sewer, which is a health risk, which in all corporations have a health inspector. Sewer running in the road. So what want me do? If all your MP say that, what want me do?
Yes, Andy morning. I got on to Henry Veins last week, Thursday, and he said that he cannot help because the people in Diga Martin Bagatelle to get the track pitch, which is 10 houses on that track, 10 households on that track. He said to get that track pitch, he can't pitch no track unless you have your deed for your house. And he can't help with the wastewater pipe either. That is a community problem. So, Andy, I really don't know. I really don't know how that problem is going to solve.
All right, my friend, well, you go just tell me, well, where's the next move? The head of the household of the Martin West, the new man that take over Rowley, he wash his hands. He technically tell you that all in there in the Martin Bagatelle there that vote for he, not you, but the majority, that all you own. So now I ask you now, what is the next move then? Where's the next move? I ask you now. Please, could you send me a message? What is the next move? From the 10 residents that live in that they can't get the pitch, and from the multitude residents that passing and seeing to water all over the road. So let go tell me what it is. What's your next step?
Andy, has Penny gone mad? She had to be, it had to be so. She telling the people that the 7 bandidos she have with her is better than UNC. Look, Penny, go hang yourself now. Penny, please hang yourself now. You're shameless. For the COVID, you left all our citizens outside. You want, for 10 years, you sit your ass down and you never said nothing to what the PNM was suffering the people for. And now you come to talk. Take your 10 men you had there and do what you want with them now. Don't offload them on Trinidad. Take the bandidos. You understand? I'm fed up with Penny really mad. Penny, you're mad. You're mad.
Oh Lord. Bang, 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 bang.
Don't forget, at 7 o'clock we'll be on Gael the last voice note. So don't try not to use the jackass word now. Or they could write it, but it will be filtered anyhow. Right? We'll be safe there because it's not 7 o'clock yet, right? Voice note. I understand your passion. I understand your vexation. And then you say, Penny, go hang yourself. And you just say, go hang yourself politically. Before you come across I exciting people, go hang yourself. Next time you see the woman come and get hanged. They say, well, we hear somebody saying on the ground report, saying why Penny going to hang herself. Like one of them, they go on and hang the woman. Or what? I don't know. PNM might set she up, you know. So all you... Just watch your words, voice note, all right? Watch your words, all right? So, I understand your vexation, so I'll play it again because Gael is not on yet, right? So you will understand what I'm saying. So just watch your words now, please. Watch it.
Andy, has Penny gone mad? It had to be so. She telling the people that the 7 bandidos she have with her is better than UNC. Look, Penny, go hang yourself now. Penny, please hang yourself now. You're shameless. For the COVID, you left all our citizens outside. You want for 10 years you sit your ass down and you never said nothing to what the PNM was suffering the people for. And now you come to talk. Take your 10 men you had there and do what you want with them now. Don't offload them on Trinidad. Take the bandidos. You understand? I'm fed up with Penny really mad. Penny, you're mad. You're mad.
All right, so what you say, go with jackasses. Take your jackass and them, however. It's not bad for social media. But remember, we don't want no problems, right? So just, from 7 o'clock, just be cautious.
Andy, this is for Penny. This is for Penny. You'll read it tomorrow, please, Lord. And besides that, listen to my thing. If it have anything that shouldn't be there, I'd understand. I'll make back one for you.
Nice. You did well. You did well. You did well. You did well. There's a hang yourself. There's a politically. Hang yourself politically. And take them jackass. Take them donkey on them. You know, just because jackass is a donkey, eh? He dies in the, but Tat and them, this one to warn you still about jackass and all kind of thing. Yeah, jackass Tat this one to warn you about jackass. Donkey Tat this one to warn you about that. Alright, I'm not it. But I understand a jackass is a donkey, and Penny should take the whole bag of jackass on them and throw them in the sea. But when we live, I can't say that at all. When we live on Gael, I can't say that. I don't know. Lennox Smith, morning. Could I say live on Gael? Is it again start if I say Penny and the PNM? Penny who in no sense and the PNM. Penny should take that whole bunch of 13 jackass and throw them overboard in the Bocas. Could I say that, Lennox Smith? Would that be all right language based on that. I don't know. I just want to make sure. Gael ain't on it yet. If I could, well, I don't mind saying that on Gael at all. I want to say how jackassish days. Go, let me hear.
Yeah, good morning, everybody. Are you hearing me loud and clear?
Yeah, loud and clear.
Yes, well, of course, according to Tat, from our experience, it shows that that is an offensive word. Of course, if you say donkey, it appears that's a euphemism for jackass, and as a consequence, they would accept that as opposed to jackass. Jackass is seen at times to be derogatory, degrading, obscene, and according to them, so as a consequence, that is prohibited. So that is where that stands.
Well, all right. So Ole can say that. Ole can say that it's against
offensive to the air or not, and we have a culture that, of course, uses that term jackass very regularly, and these days it can either be used for offensive purposes or for more what I consider to be benign purposes. I heard your caller's note where she
you hear that
was
woman?
very in and out, very convoluted, very contradictory. But it was very interesting because I see that she said that my big words, and then of course she used a word, and I would like her to, of course, call back or make another voice note to tell me what is the meaning of that word that you use, some super something words. So I would love to, because it is edifying, and of course it is also if I don't know it, well, I am humble enough to say that I don't, but ask me to stop using certain words. I don't think it would edify anybody. I think we have to move from the known to the unknown, and education is a continuous process. And only last night we had that debate, because I used a word last night when I said it was an oxymoron. And of course, one fella said, well, those words are not in the dictionary. So when they look in the dictionary, they saw that it was in fact so. And then, of course, they asked me, because it was a live thing, they asked me, well, what's the meaning? I said, well, look, it's a built-in contradiction where of course, you will tell a fella that his face is like a jackass, but really and truly, you know that
we all know it. We all know it. We on Guyale, partner.
Yeah. I'm saying that you could tell a fella that his face. No, I'm being practical here, and of course, I don't think that will have to be triggered here. But I'm saying that you could tell a fella that the face is like a jackass. So I'm using an example here because they very often say that the monitors or the presenters don't correct. So I am using this as an example. Where you tell a fellow he faces a jackass, but he doesn't mean to say that he's a jackass in his face. That is, in other words, you use figurative language that, of course, describe it, because that is part and parcel of the, let's say, the bundle of words, the use of words to describe the people, which is real, and of course it conveys a particular meaning, sometimes emotional, sometimes of course it evokes somebody to get vexed, etc., depending on what context in which you are using it. So but of course they are the authorities, and therefore no problem. Of course I am in total disagreement with her, in the sense that, unlike the guy yesterday who said that
total disagreement with who? Total disagreement with who? Penny disagreement with who?
With the caller, remember the
right, the caller, right. That caller will say that you playing the fool, you're giving more credence to.
I addressed that already. I addressed that because she used a word that of course I don't know. So I don't know if other people know, so they could tell me. So of course, why she's accusing me of a particular sin?
Well, she said that's super.
She seems to have committed a similar sin. So, but Lennox, I can assure you, I can assure you that word not in the dictionary.
Yeah, she said.
What I show.
Wait.
That mean as it may. let her
she
call
said
it
that,
and say
the
what
woman
she,
said
what
them
that would
super.
mean. Or she
The
could,
woman, what's me?
she could,
Lennox.
of course, take the other position and say what she meant.
Right, but what's now, Lennox?
In more simple language. Let me put it that way.
Right, but what's now between me and you?
Yeah, but the other part of it, what
No,
I'm
but between me and you,
what
the
I'm
woman for the
concerned
woman
with-
to use that
No,
language so big, where she say, and that super, what's my meaning? Those powerful language, super.
No.
Super,
She said something that was the prefix. I talk about the suffix part of it. The prefix is the front part. She said super. Yes, I hear that. But the other
meaning
part,
them language
because
big,
there must be
real
some
big.
super something. Some super something. I want to hear what she meant by
calling, ma'am.
That word. I am a bit confused about that part of it. So I hear the super part. That's why I said what I said, but I didn't hear I didn't understand the other part. So I don't know if she made it up or whatever it is. So I would love to know. That being as it may
Wait.
be
Let me just throw off these voices.
thought-
Tell me yesterday quick. Remember that what we say? We say we go always when we finish them off, we go just finish them early before we think they. Let me just finish off. That was yesterday.
Yeah,
Good
but,
morning,
but
Mr.
no,
Andy.
quickly. But it's,
I like
it's
a
early, it's
question
consistent
answer.
with that. I'm saying that the
Excuse
other
me.
part is that it has to do with programming. If we are talking about volcanoes, you don't expect us, of course, to bring in tsunamis and other irrelevance. So yesterday we were talking about, of course, solutions to the violence and the bullying in schools, etc. Some person called in and said that we only focusing on that, and what about the victims? There are times if the topic is about victims, certainly the topic will be focused there. But yesterday, the topic was about perpetrators, and you cannot fault us for that. Why try to, of course, reprogram or tell us how we should discuss these various matters? There will be time to deal with the victims. So to tell us that we are focusing on the perpetrators and not on the victims, I think is disingenuous. And maybe it could be because of a misunderstanding. So I thought I should clear the air on those matters, because next thing, the perception may be that we are about, of course, focusing on the negative and not on the positive. In fact, I am on record, public record, of course, always looking at the optimistic side of things. So therefore, I can use the analogy, for example, that I see always the glass half full, when of course others will see it half empty. And it depends on your perspective and all of those that will come in true human situation. But in our case, our programming system is one where if we are discussing a particular matter, then that is the matter per se. There is no need for us to digress or to deviate from the particular topic that is at hand. So I would just want to make it clear to all and sundry, and not allow people to go away with the perception that we are on, of course, the negative side of things, as that's statement both this morning and yesterday would have, of course, evoked or suggest.
Nice. Right? And what I will ask the lady to do, she can always call back and clear the words on the super college words that you use. That she says the super college words.
Yeah, I want to get the suffix. The prefix is the first part, the front. You have words that have prefix and suffix. So the suffix part, the back part of it, I would love to hear.
Nice. Right? So, ma'am, you could call back.
I will continue, of course, to use that kind of language.
Your super college language.
There are people who while she may be disgusted because she may not understand. I think you are there to treat with that aspect of it. Mickie's, of course, approach is the middle ground, and my approach, of course, is to get the intellectuals and the others to come on board in order for us to have a balanced program on a daily basis.
Nice. With those super college words, she make up a nice thing there to buy. Hey, girl, my lady, don't forget Colleen, right? Colleen, or send on voice notes. You can raise the issue when it's coming to the victim. And based on the issue raised, people may bill on it and That could be trending just like how the issue of the perpetrators and how we deal with the perpetrators, which the issue was raised and the majority say boot camps, lock them up in boot camps, put them away in boot camps, don't let them go home. That's what the most say. So you can raise an issue when it comes to the victim.
And contradictions, and the major contradiction, of course, as I've indicated, is that in the criminal justice system, there is always, of course, a punitive or the punishment is usually one that is nestled in rehabilitation. So whether you are found guilty or not, the point is that when you go back into the society for one reason or another, the essence of rehabilitation is always there, so that a judge will sentence you to hard labor, but inside of there, the prison system will, of course, provide certain programs that will make you a better person when you re-enter society. So that is part of it. In other words, there's biblical foundation for it, meaning that none of us who are without sin, one, and two, who are we to judge another person? And that is the fundamental principle that is nestled, of course, in biblical teachings and philosophy and understanding. So it is very, very deep as it is wide.
Nice. So, ma'am, you can send back your voice note. Let me just finish off these voice notes here. Don't forget, Trinidad and Tobago, you can send your voice notes for today's program. What's on your front burner? What's supposed to make news that not making news? What's trending or what you want to make trend? We'll get the lines out. Well, the lines will be opening in a bit. You can send your voice notes by the meanwhile. Just playing voice notes that from yesterday that didn't get played.
Take 10 out of 10 for that interview. You snatch him fast. That was a brilliant interview.
Oh, COP is talking about the interviews yesterday, the two interviews by the two MPs, one from San Fernando, Point Fortin.
So one from Point Fortin and the other one from Libre.
Yeah. Junior Minister of Utilities, Public Utilities, and the next one is Junior Minister of Energy and Energy Resources or something. So. Right. So yes, it was a brilliant interview. Well, people talking about the.
Yeah, I think we did of course extract from them what the population, because at the end of the day the population has to be satisfied, and I think we did a wonderful job in terms of representing some of the concerns and the issues and the questions that they, if they had the chance, would have posed to the ministers. And from that perspective, I think the job was well done. Yes, I agree with that caller.
Nice. Right, for those of you who only may be seeing Hayden Joseph or something, so all you will be seeing him. But on the real chat that is on the TV here, which you all are seeing here, I not seeing Hayden Joseph, nor anybody on Guile will be seeing him. But whatever social media platform that you all are on, if you all on the same platform as him, who is on the same platform with him, will be seeing his comments, his dirty language about Kamala Susela and all them kind of thing, and who is B-man and all kind of stupidness. So Hayden Joseph was banned from the live. So he will be there. So the people that get banned, you always see them still not Mr. Riemann, this and that. But the entire chat and Guile would not be seeing Hayden Joseph on the chat. Right? Remember, it's the real media chat is where we have the real chat is where we have up, and he's banned from the real chat, but not banned from the network, the social media network itself. He's there. But it's only all you can see. So let us ignore him, because the rest of the world and I and Lennox and whoever else and other platforms not seeing Hayden Joseph's comments. Before, everybody was seeing his comments before he was banned, including Arima. Everybody was seeing her comments and all before she was banned. But not banned off the social media, but banned on the chat. Meaning only you go see them, not the wider public. Right? Nice. Let me continue the voice note.
The Ground Report with Mikey K, Andy Williams, and Lennox Smith.
So if anybody want to be disrespectful in your language, you just would not be part of the mainstream with everybody else, where you can be where everybody that are on that send a chat that not on the vulgarity that you all see in their chat. You all nobody even see a chat only there, right? So it means that you're redundant. It means that you're wasting time. It means that when all along you had a whole platform to send a good message, now you just have a message to send between yourself and on that specific network that you own first stop. So come like you're getting up for nothing and you're making your contributions only come like nothing because I ain't seen it anyhow. Lennox ain't seen it. The people the thousands lock on and Guile not seeing it. So come like only wasting time. Go and plant a garden, feed the fowl, cook a food, wash our clothes, go to work, go look for a job if it only not working. Because that way come like I being straight, come like if it can't be a part of everything. It come like you're wasting time. You understand what I'm saying, Lennox? Makes no sense, right? Let me continue.
Good morning, Andy, Mikey, Lennox, and everybody out there. Andy, when hypocrisy was sharing, PNMites went first. To hear Gatsby, Dolly, and them talk yesterday, Standing Finance Committee, it would make you feel that you want to pelt something. Pick up anything you could find you want to pelt to them. Imagine this woman have no stinking shame to ask the Minister of Health when some bill will be paid off. And if you're going to carry on with the blame game, it's best you don't answer. Who the hell she thinks she is? They messed up this country for 10 years. For 10 years. I'm saying 10. They blame the UNC government who left office in 2015 for everything that went on. What they failure, all their failures and everything, they blame the UNC fight. You coming back now to say if you want to carry on with the blame game? No, darling. You blame this government up until the 27th of April. We heard it all on the platform, and you have no shame, lady. No shame whatsoever. Like you lose your shame when you change your hairstyle. Or you put the color in it.
Oh, God.
Something wrong. And to hear Marvelous Marvel asking about what this government doing about community centers and hospitals and schools that have no water. What did you do, Marvel? What did you do? How many times you saw school? Well, I could attest to it because when you're going down, you seen book school and all them dismissed. When you ask why, because they have no water. Or they really have no shame whatsoever. Like all this sweep away, all this shame with all them cocaine broom all they was using. Or they better get it back, get it back. And I want to tell Penny, your quality could never be better than the quantity that is in that parliament. Because when all you open all your mouth, all you remove it, all doubt at the stupidity that comes out of it. We have intelligent people sitting in the government benches now. Unlike all you, Penny, you're a failure. You're a weak-bellied failure. You have no moral authority to talk about quality, because the quality that we've seen coming out of the opposition benches now is best they were not there. And Andy, before I leave, I want to thank you all for removing Hayden Joseph from on the chats. Andy, it was the most nastiest, derogatory comments that man would come and put up every morning and repeat himself until the program is finished. Thank you very much, Andy. Thank you very much. Take care and have a good one.
Thank you very much, newbie. Thank you very much. Right, and just to clear the air, so if people feel they do have a democracy and the people just get banned just so. No. We let everybody know that we modernize ourselves and that we bringing the social media and television, everybody together. So those on the various platforms will see comments of everybody on the individual platforms. Everything come in one. And those on the Caribbean Guyana, Trinidad and Tobago, gonna see the comments live from the social media on the TV. So in that way, everybody together. We did tell everyone that from 7 o'clock when we come on Guile, please, just the same way we cannot say various things, which we put a filter. It also have a filter on the real chat where various words, you only see that dots. Right? Like for instance, based on what the word is, it had dots. Right? Like for instance, that automatic, the computer automatically did that. Because it have a filter put in the street that here after shameless. So P dot. So I really don't know what was that was going on. Say that but it's a banned word. So and shameless. Right? So you'll see it will have dots in some of the, so it have a filtering out because we live on Guile. Right? So what we told them is that when we on Guile, everybody can write. So Guile, the Caribbean, and all our listeners, viewers on Guile, in the thousands, will read the comments from Munsami, look with Ethan, Mentor, look Joyce, Michael, Jason, Rambo Ali, Jill Monroe, Atali, Kato, all. You'll be able to read the comments. So everybody will get to know each other because it's one. And then they'll get to read some of the interesting comments that some people make, because some people come up with very good suggestions and they will come up with their front burner. They will write the front burner. And I and all will get to see too while we think in there. And we will raise it based on what is the front burner. Right? And we told them just the foul languages, please don't write it. Because if it coming across on Guile, it's problem for we. And they insist they will continue writing foul language. That is right. And so what we do, we didn't ban them from social media. We do not doing that. So they're there, but they're there on their platform. And wherever platform, whether on Real Media TT Facebook, Real Media TT YouTube, Corridor Transformation, or wherever platform Workers Right, wherever platform or the Ground Report, or wherever platform they own. Because they can't be on 3 one time. So wherever they own, it's only that platform will still see them. But the entire, everybody together would not be seeing them no more. So they just ban from the real chat where we can censor words and all everything. They just ban from that. But on the social media, they're there. Normal. Right? We are survivor here and things. Right? So only two that own. What is all the issues? Write it. What's supposed to make news that not making news? Only may not be calling, but write it. Right, like for instance, Basque Andy. Boy, it had to talk about the P&M thieves and liars. Well, end lies without cussing, boy. Yeah, but we had to talk about the thieves and lying without. Only no Trinidadians only know how to write. That is we will know what you mean, but it's not offensive. Be smart. Only use only creativity. And you'll take out plenty of the words already filtered anyhow, right? So be smart. Well, let me see if there are any more voice notes, and then let me organize and take some calls while we're going through. All right, man.
Good morning, Andy. This is to this good for nothing minister.
We ain't taking calls yet. Let me just finish off the voice notes. Beulah, give me 5 minutes.
Marsha Walker, on what she have to say about Kamala.
Yesterday, the Prime Minister was absent from the post-cabinet press conference. And that's fine, because this particular government has been saying that, she's very good at delegating. She doesn't need to micromanage. She doesn't need to be there. However, She has instructed her ministers to stay in their lane.
Yes, you're good for nothing, Marsha. Minister of Mako in Kamala business. Kamala wasn't there on Thursday, but she sent she relevant ministers to answer question, but that ain't good enough for you at all. Eh? You have to bump your gum and mash up your mouth over the woman. You really hate that woman with a passion, boy. But on Friday, the opposition leader, Penny, wasn't there in the parliament. Nobody see she. 2 bills have to be debated, and not a single sight as she. Where she was? She didn't debate no bill? Eh? Where she was, Marsha Walker? You can bump your gum with she. She's part of the government too. You waste of time. We wait. You'll get what coming to you, you know. All that wickedness you're doing, it's going to come for you. Wait and you go see. What goes around comes around. They call it karma, not Kamala, eh? So you go get it. Have a good day, Andy.
Good morning, Andy. I seen the people meter last night where the people disagree with this government coming for $3 billion supplementary budget. But I want them to know, I want them to ask the PNM why every year they have to have a supplementary budget. It's because the $58 and $59 billion that they allocate to run between September or October to the next budget, it don't last with them. They just spend and squander all the money. They can't budget nothing at all right. You understand? So that is why this government had to come for $3 billion more. It's them who institute that. They could never budget and keep within that budgetary allocation to run the country. This PNM for the 10 years today. On input, you're going to get your share. I tell you, when Wednesday come, you're going to have to put your face in a garbage bag. Because when you see that finance minister finish with you, you're going to be shamed. Have a good day, gentlemen. Andy, I see Stuart Chung trying to interrogate the finance minister about the $2 million that government had to pay Gianti, right, for she matter in the Privy Council. But I want he to know, if it wasn't for that idiotic little Dwayne coming boat, we wouldn't have to pay $2 million out of taxpayers' money for nothing, you know. That would be $2 million that could have been used on the people of this country. So it should have come out of Colin boat pocket, not the taxpayers. That is what it should have come out of. Because he was too bold-faced to go and challenge a woman in court, right? And the law doesn't matter. It should have come out from his pocket. And I think it's time they pass some kind of legislation like that. Once you do stupidness, you should be able to pay for your own pocket. Because I find too much of the taxpayers' money wasting behind nonsense. Come, you'll get your shit just now. Wait for tomorrow. You're getting it live. Have a good day, Andy.
A pleasant good morning, Andy, Lennox, and Mickie K, and everyone on the line. Well, concerning these things with these students and stuff, right? As I keep saying before, you know, to send them down in the defense force as a boot camp and whatever. But after hearing what you guys were talking about, maybe as rightfully say, Andy, that you know a combination of the two going in hand. So in other words, then you come out, you're in school at present, you raise your head for your ugliness, as you just say. And from there now, you go straight to the boot camp for a little 3 weeks, and then being assessed right down there, then you filter into Lennox class orientation, you know, and based on how they perform, is either they go back like once a week, or they just, you know, go through the schooling system based on their performance. But in the beginning, before the actual thing itself, besides registering and all these things, they must go into a 3 weeks boot camp, and where the parents on a Sunday go and meet them and talk to them, make sure everything all right with them. And then, you know, after the 3 weeks, well, the 4th week, well, they go be starting in the new school system. At least you will get some kind of discipline going into the school system with Lennox.
Wow, look, Paul say, Dolly asking the new education minister questions like she was not the minister for the past 9 years. Wow. I wonder what the questions Dolly was asking the new education minister. Wow. 7 PNM members are wasting time in office. That's Primraj. Like Donna Cox disappear. It's Simmons. It's saying like Donna Cox disappear. Okay. That $2 million should be paid by the PNM. I agree. Good morning, gentlemen. Great job as usual. Okay. Right. 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 Let me continue these voice notes there. Let me continue these voice notes here quick.
Good morning, Andy. Again, I see the PNM in opposition about 6 or 7 weeks now, right? And the UNC in government. But you know this PNM set a sycophant opposition, terrorizing and interrogating the UNC like if them was there for the last 10 years. They asked them about X amount of money and this amount of money. Like if it wasn't them that was spending all the money before they come into opposition. What were you wrong with them, boy? What were you wrong with Marva and company? Eh? All of them. There was a bunch of Johnny come lately. They now arrive. Eh? They wasn't in government all the time squandering taxpayer money. But the shameless here. Shameless PNM. Or the squander and bankrupt this country. Eh? Borrow so much money and the country in debt. And look where he is now. Shame on all the PNM. Shame. Have a good day, Andy.
Nice. I think I'll read this comment here by Uncle Breeze. So Lennox, why you always reading the comments and they right there in your front of your screen, so always while you're talking, watch and see what people saying and them thing. Well, Uncle Breeze is saying, Andy, what Christ Road? And ask, well, I want to believe it, well, right, let's see the words filtered out. Right, so knowing that I'm just making an example, as Lennox said, I can use those such words. What so he's just asking a question, Andy. What Christ or what Christ wrote, what Jesus Christ wrote, right, or whatever, and us or Jack asked, and it was in the Bible, or a jack or a donkey. Well, remember in the dictionary, Trinidad and Tobago, a jackass in the dictionary is a donkey, right? So yeah, that's in the Bible. And you didn't know, and I was just letting you know, he did wrote that. He wrote that, right? Let me don't go through that. He write that. He write a donkey, right? He wrote a donkey, man. And you all know what donkey is in the Bible and the dictionary. What a donkey in the Bible and in the dictionary. You all know what it is. All right, let's continue. Oh, boy. Rambo Ali saying, Ali, we the supporters not hearing Mother Bernie no more. Could you give her a call, please, if you have her number? All right, Mother Bernie is listening, and Mother Bernie will organize and grace herself there. Let me say Monitor Nathaniel. Right? Hugh Rodriguez, which is Ghost. I need for Lennox Smith to call me, please. Lennox Smith, Hugh Rodriguez, which is Ghost, is saying he need for you to give him a call, please. All right, that's Hugh Rodriguez, Ghost. Say give him a call, Lennox Smith. Right, so you all who cannot call in or don't want to call in, you all can write what's your front burner, what's supposed to make news that not making news. It will be read, as long as a front burner issue. Let me continue.
Oh, Mickie and Lennox. Yeah, right. You see, today children is a different type of train about there, boy. Yeah, it's had some people train a train very good home, you know. And when they get out there, it's a different type of train, it's a different scenario. You understand? Suppose a little child come and dead now. You understand? They go send them boot camp, rehab, and you are trained. And if anybody do your turn that you're not going on the road with that here. So I will give Jackie. You understand? Peter pay for Paul and Paul pay for Paul. You understand? Because if that child happen to die now, them get charged. Your child 6 feet up. Them coming out back after. It's a kind of, yeah, that's how it is. You understand? No, the instance that child happen to die, them need to go and sit down in prison, boy. You understand? 25, 30 to life. You understand? Lifetime, yeah. Sit down inside it. You understand? You have to let learn a lesson. You understand? They go to school to learn, not to fight, boys. You understand? Everybody are trained, boys. Look.
All right, somebody say, Andy, what about Mr. Tunapuna? Let me see, to show us your comment, asking, Pearl Sammy saying, Andy, what about Mr. Tunapuna? Is he okay? Not hearing him. Should we hear him last week, we hear him this week. Remember, he say he's sicking, so we will try to get in contact with him to see Mr. Tunapuna is all right. Right?
A very long time, Andy. I haven't heard from Ghost. What he can do is probably call me. I don't think I have his number. 337-6940. So if he is listening, I'm sure that
Ghost,
he'll be able to give me a call.
Ghost. Look, Lennox Smith. For those of you who want to call Lennox Smith, it have a green ticker underneath Lennox Smith. You'll see 337-6940. That's Lennox Smith number. Ghost, you can call him. And for those of you that want to get in contact with Lennox Smith, right? That's the number to call him direct there. That's not the call-in number for the ground report. That's for you to get on to Lennox Smith. Look at going on the screen there. Look at on the screen right here. All right, look at it right here on the screen. The mouse on it here. Right, 337-6940. Right? That's Lennox Smith number. So you can give him a call there. Nice. Legendary is saying we want the Venezuelans out. Wow. So she want the Venezuelans and them out. Right. You want the Venezuelan. Moana is saying the government has made this place for children. Look at the bigger picture. The government have made this place for the children. Look at the bigger picture. Well, I know what you mean by that. Let's continue the voice notes.
Father, like you going mad. What kind of behavior is that on the people, television, and the internet this morning? What's going on with you?
Andy, good morning. It's Krishna here from Arima. Lennox Smith, good morning. And Mickie, good morning. Andy, yesterday, I see on yesterday Guardian that the opposition leader of the PNM, Penny Beckles, saying that the PNM has lost its way. Oh God, Penny, what a pity. So long you take to see that. So long you wait to see that happening. It's 9.5 years to sit down there. So we
I put nothing on hold. Lennox Smith, that is factual. Did Penny Beckles say the PNM have lost it way?
Yes, she did. Yes,
Very good.
Did. Yeah, that's a big front page Guardian article.
Very good. Very good. That says a lot.
Of course, I discussed it last night just to make an intervention, and I said it is too little, too late. She should have said that from the beginning. I apologize to the population. We have been saying that, but because they didn't, and they suddenly believe that somehow 5 years is just a month or two, and that they could get back into office. That's what that was their initial and original rampage that they were engaged in, and afterwards, of course, to come and tell us that now tells me that, of course, they are totally out of it and are suffering from what I consider manic depressive psychosis, where, of course, you lose all sight of reality.
Nice. Leon Charles is saying, Andy, I hope that everything going forward, that Lennox get his program going as soon as possible before the new school year and not be put aside. So this person is hoping that program there that you start off get up and running before the new school year. Right? Oh boy. Nice. Joyce Rambox is saying this is what the children supposed to know. If they go outside, their discipline must be priority. Behavior is in such a manner your parents will be proud. Okay. Right, so she's saying again, this is what the children are supposed to know. If they go out there, discipline must be priority. Behavior in such a manner your parents should be proud. Right. So when children go out there, what she's saying is when children go out there, you're supposed to have children, you're also supposed to have discipline to the extent where will make your parents proud of you. Not you go out there, you change your uniform, and you're kicking down some child face, breaking up some child ribs, or pulling out a knife and choking a child, which could end up fatal. That child could end up dead, and you could end up in prison. Right? You could end up in prison. So y'all, kids, parents, talk to your kids. Talk to your kids. Because in real, it's their life they're throwing away. And they're shaming you as a parent. We know some parents really don't care anyhow. It has some parents who care. Right. Let's hear Krishna.
Andy, good morning. It's Krishna here from Arima. Lennox Smith, good morning. And Mickie, good morning. Andy, yesterday, I see on yesterday Guardian that the opposition leader of the PNM, Penny Beckles, saying that the PNM has lost its way. Oh God, Penny, what a pity. So long you take to see that. So long you wait to see that happening. It's 9.5 years to sit down there. So will the country know and the country sees that the PNM has lost its way? The public know that. You know, admitted, Penny. Right? The PNM sit down there and they did nothing for the people. Nothing whatever I could think of. 10 years? Name 10 things for me good they did for the people when they was in power. Nothing. So the people come disenchanted and get fed up and decide come the 20th of April 2025 we'll vote out the PNM, and exactly so happened. So today I see there's no way the PNM could come back in the next 20-25 years to come. Longs, my prime minister of the day is doing her job, and so far, Andy, the government of Trinidad and Tobago is working. Our prime minister, our MPs, everyone is working. They're working. So anytime they win and they get there, look how much thing they have done already. Dan Rowley and Stuart Young, them wicked people when they was there. They has done more than them. That Obia prime minister, deceitful lying man, God don't sleep, boy, Rowley. I tell you, want it to come, you will have to pay for that Obia you has done to Manning. You said, I didn't say it, you tell the country that. Lokoto. Remember that? The same man that fired me, regret it today. Is that didn't come Rowley, you will have to pay. You will skin up like a frog in the road and dead. Wicked and bad. We treat the people of this country, Andy. You understand what I'm saying? Locked on, and it's that.
Oh boy, I must congratulate Krishna, man. Krishna come with a contribution. I ain't hear about, oh God. Where's that good talking long? Where is one talking long? Where that one talking long? Krishna, very good, very good. You call, you send a message, you get to the point. Nice. It has some things that I see come up here that was very important on social media here. LP said that Cummins really call Rowley a liar. Well, obviously he's a liar. And a pirate. Just asking, like Cummins want to be the new Alibaba to lead the 40 thieves. Oh, sir. Woo. Okay then. Next, what else? What else is interesting here? Hey, Rick Williams is saying 99% of children who are disrupting schools are PNM supporters' children. Yeah, we know that the former education minister, she and all admit that. She admit that too. Imagine that. This one, you're saying PNM are vexed. PNM vexed, they lost. I don't care about that. Hey, Semantic 62 is saying, Andy, what about the parents who bring shame to their children? The apple don't fall far from the tree. Oh, trees. That's true. The parents that think that's what we say, legislation could be put in place to hold, when the children get on bad, hold the parents accountable for the behavior of the children. We will know the parents that we don't have to hold accountable, because the schools will be able to say that that parent is come PTA meeting. That parent, the neighbors will be able to say that parent just be very, very disciplined, and that parent is real nice and da-da-da-da-da. So the community will get involved, the school will get involved, so we will know. And from the time the school say that parent never come, we send all kind of letter to that parent, we complain about the child to the parent, we ask to see that parent, and that parent never make a day to come to school and see what's going on. And however, that parent must be charged with the child. Yeah! That's what we want. Lock up the parents and them too. Not all go get locked up, we go know, hey, it is very easy to assess what role a child, a parent played in a child life before that child go all rogue. Yes, no? You well know. The community go talk, and the school will talk. Because most of them children who fighting and beating people children, parents don't even go PTA meeting. Most of them when they call to find out, to check the school to see if it is the attendance of their child in school is every day. They wait for the report to say it. You see them where just point down the puppies and them and don't want to get milk. You know them dog and them where sometimes they put on a whole set of puppy and they ain't want to get the puppy them milk. They want to go close where them little puppy them could butt underneath them now and suck the milk. Meaning that is a worthless dog. You drop your pups and you want to feed it. You drop 5 pups. You want to feed your puppies. And we the dog owner have to now organize and get bottle, baby bottle, make milk and chuck it in dog mouth. So I give only a good example. Them parents and them out there with them rogue little children, drop their puppies, drop their monsters, and expect the schools or the village to raise that child? Them so we are a lock up. That is a sin. Them so we will come by the school if it is a teacher discipline a child. When you talk to my child, so you ain't coming to the school to find out how your child going in school. Say to reach the stage where you reach in the school to want to know why teacher talk to your child so, or why the principal suspend your child. You ain't want to do that. But you want to reach by the school, you want to beat up a teacher or a child for hitting your child. You ain't go in the school and find out, make complaints. Yeah, there's no the delinquent parent. You make a complaint, you go to the school, you make a complaint, you go to the principal office, I come to complain about a student that is attending the school that beat up my child, because I really don't want to get myself in trouble or move like those ignorant little children and them. So I come to launch a complaint that this child here beating up my child or bullying my child. Right, the principal will both call the two students. Then the principal now with your complaint as a responsible principal supposed to now summons the bully child or the fighting child or the rogue child parents to the school. And then the principal now will organize and try to get on to the child parent. And they will make a day where the two parents will now attend this to the school. And the principal now will do the investigations while that happened there, and then the two parents will come to the school. And then the two parents now, well, the principal talk, Wale talk, and everybody they talk. And then the principal should not be called we talk, because you don't bully my child and you don't beat up my child, and that child need to be disciplined. Remember, you can't beat you in school. And then in front of the principal there, the principal now have to tell that parent, your child is suspended for a month. Due to, in our investigation, this child is bullying and beating this child, and how it go. Is suspended for a month. Well, that parent, then you don't know the rogue parent. Where me my dad for a month? Well, principal might have to duck and hide. I was sure that was going to love until police go get involved. So there's no one time that the parent there that we had to lock up with the child. Yeah, there's no them. It's easy. So all of those things like if it is, we say, lock up the parents, charge the parents too. Don't watch it with statement delinquent. Because obviously it will have investigations. Obviously it will have assessment of the whole situation. So you will know the parent that must be charged with the child and we're not. Because again, the school will talk and the village go talk. Right, Lennox Smith, I have to duck out for 8 o'clock, eh? Very important, it's as we talk that after attend a child school. Well, after attend my kid school. I don't know, yeah. Very, very important. Parents Day, as we talk that. So it'll be in the capable hands of newbie. On the ones and twos. So you will be up and running as normal. Oh boy, let me take a call here. Morning caller, where you calling from? What's your contribution? And all the voice notes, or send all the voice notes. We will play voice notes, but don't make no direct no WhatsApp call, direct no. Send your WhatsApp voice notes when I'm not here. I will be forwarding all the voice notes to Newbie, and Newbie will play your voice notes as normal. But the normal land lines will be open, which is the 225-6644, 225-6644, or 239-5120. You all see it at the bottom of the screen there. 225-6644 or 239-5120. And WhatsApp, yes, WhatsApp voice notes only at 8 o'clock after 8. Okay? Nice. Caller, go ahead. Where you calling from and what's your contribution?
Good morning, Andy.
Yeah.
Calling from McBean. Andy, recently somebody put a speed bump on the highway just around where the Attobolan Stadium is. That thing going to cause some crazy accident there.
Where mean a
because
speed
if you
bump? Wait. Where mean a speed bump on the highway? You're not saying in a community. You're not saying highway. You're not saying on a main road where we will have, like, let me say, blinking lights, because we will see blinking light because we know well a school ahead it will have zebra crossing, and in some areas because of although the blinking light not stopping some people on the main road, they will put speed bumps and they will put a white lines on the speed bump on a main road. They'll do that directly in communities. You are saying that on the highway by Attobolan Stadium, on the highway, the touch of it, the highway we're talking about, right? On the highway, yes. It have a speed bump, a real speed bump across the whole highway. On what side? Going to San Fernando or coming to Port of Spain?
Coming north.
Coming north?
Yes.
Right, which is coming north is before the gas station there where they open there. by the
No,
flyover?
No, the gas station is before that. Where Atto Bolden.
Right. I'm saying before the gas station. On the left-hand side coming north.
If you're coming north, that is after the gas station.
All right,
That's past the flyover,
right,
coming up the road, coming north.
Right, after the gas station, right, which everybody from on that flyover will diverting onto the highway to continue heading north. You're saying before Atto Bolden Stadium, it have a speed
on
bump?
the highway. Yes, in the vicinity of Atto Bolden Stadium, it have a speed bump on the highway. If you don't know, partner, you could run off the road. You could damage your car. Because if you're traveling at 80 kilometers or 90 kilometers and you just hit this thing, the front of your car raising off the road and jumping back. And I'm sure it's not Julian John sanctioned that. And I feel people reporting it, I feel she going down there today and light some fire under some contractor. Maybe she's trying to sabotage the woman. But they're doing some road patching coming up the road. And every road patch come like a mini speed bump too. And this one going straight across the whole road. But they say, maybe if it's a patch they do, but it's a speed bump on the road.
Right, so if anybody could do a video, of that, if only passing in the vicinity of Atto Bolden Stadium, do a video of it and all you could send it for me. Let's see what it is you're talking about. Thanks so much for the information. Thanks so much for saving lives. If it is, it really have a speed bump on the highway, well, the relevant authorities will have to deal with that situation. Thank you so much, caller.
Okay, sir. Yeah.
Andy, I'll have to disconnect by 8 o'clock. I have a meeting for 9 o'clock.
Where's that?
I have a meeting for 9 o'clock with yours truly, somebody that you're familiar with, a minister. So for 9 o'clock on the instructions of the Honorable Prime Minister. So I will be off at 9 o'clock.
All right, well, you got to close off. You'll close off 9 o'clock.
For 9, but I'll be off around 8 because
go by, I have to leave here.
Have a preliminary discussion with some other people before we enter that meeting.
But
all right?
You know one, no tell you. I know tell you. I tell you, I had about saying, Lennox Smith, you got to get headphones real bad, eh? You really need, newbie would like to know.
So
if it is he organized one, if it is he will get this.
To your appointment, the school appointment. But I'm just let you know that because I did mention that I think yes.
Well, all right, well, watch. All I want to do is lock off at 9 o'clock.
That lady, you might have seen me smiling. I want to thank that lady. She said she just been in bed and she gets up only to hear me speak. Is no lapel, but of course, contrary to some people. So some people have their different likes. That's the point I'm making by mentioning that. Yeah.
Man, let me work to resolve this thing here quick because I have to leave here at 8 o'clock. It are no ifs or buts, so maybe you have to lock off at 9 o'clock. But I will tell you that you need our headphones. Newbie would like to know if it is he buy it for you when he come. If you just want to go to back his money, or you will organize our headphones. You really need our headphones to go into the Discord bar, Lennox Smith. You laughing, Mickie K is have only headphones.
But you assume
I just have on mine.
What you said.
Lennox Smith, you don't hear plenty of the things. Sometimes the callers calling and talking, and do you instead of hearing that them talking to you?
Nah, that's
you
a fact.
have to get headphones.
Yeah. Okay. I don't like it, but of course I will have to do it out of necessity.
Right, and hook it up to the Discord, right? You ever do it for everybody meanwhile, right? Because 6 minutes to Mickie K. Call Mickie and see Mickie be able to hold on for you from 9 to 10. Call him then, get on to Mickie there by the time they. Tell him it's real important. Tell him you have an engagement with a minister for 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
He go excuse you for the 10 minutes late. You can leave 9. If you can't get on to Mickie, well then you'll just have to lock off the program at 9 o'clock. Right, today. You'll just have to lock off the program at 9 today. Because I wouldn't be here. Right?
No, well, we have a conflict, so we better resolve that.
Right, so call Mickie.
At
that minister will wait for you. Just tell them, well, the pitbull have to go to the school. That specific minister that you're going to, which I know is that who that, will understand. So you just send a message. So I can always send a message to the minister, excusing you and letting them know that you'll be there no later than 10:15, because I don't think Mike will be able to. When you talk to him, he go let you know where he scenes. Right?
Well, clearly we have to resolve it. That's the point I'm making. So let's do that now. I'm calling Mikey now.
Yeah, call him.
And
right.
And then we'll move.
So mute and call Mikey by the time. Do quick, because I had to leave in the next. I got leave about 8:05 or so. Trying to go. Well, let's see how it is. And remember, as we always tell you, we don't get paid for what we do. This is our hobby. This is things that we like. This is a commitment. There's a commitment to Trinidad and Tobago. We have lives like everybody else. And that's to show you all the sacrifices that you all host condemn this make on a daily basis, Monday to Friday, to make sure we are in the company of each and every one of you. Good morning, caller. Where are you calling from? What's your contribution on the ground report this morning?
Good morning, Andy, Lennox, Mikey, Trinidad and Tobago, Guyana Channel, and up the Caribbean, down the Caribbean, all our Caribbean brothers. Andy, my little friend Bernard, my 2 cents into children discipline and bringing back the children to society and be upright citizen. You know, the demerit points. Some people say leave the demerit points. It's serving as a deterrent for errant drivers. But yet still on the main arteries of the highway and byways is not, you don't see a traffic warden, but you will see a traffic warden on every street corner, every part where someone is applying for hire, and they will be checking in the built up areas, right? But it's a deterrent. Just as the people are asking that our prime minister is saying that the demerit points is a double whammy. Let's get rid of it. You see how much people come out to talk? Then the children, for the last 10 years, then they were never been guided by any such rules and regulation. The PNM education minister failed the children. And like I said broadly this morning, because she admits that is the PNM children. So if it's the PNM children getting on bad, so, right? Now when they put in laws that each person is responsible for their own conduct and behavior, you see how they're defending it? And then these same children psychologists and them, where there is, only now they get a little hearing and they can voice their opinion. All the years these violence going on in schools, they never come out and say that the victim, how they will be scarred for life or talk out. But now they're coming to protect. It reminds me just like in the Parliament and the Finance Committee. The 13 PNM members know them not to ask questions. And what it is all about? To blah blah them out, to make it look that let the supporters say they're asking questions. And all the questions they're asking irrelevant. Because it have no substance and nothing about it. Because they're telling you why they want the money, because it's in there. And when India leave office, just last month, the 28th of April, and he had a shortfall, that just show you that the money, they wreck this economy. This is the point, the second point I want, that how to wreck this economy financially and politically, and yet still no, they want to play there as the angel with the halo over the head. And I want to tell Penny and them, you keep singing, because here we're going on. After the 22nd, we will see the true colors of all here. Back again to neglect the same supporters for the neglect for the last 10 years. So Andy, I want to say that on your media, that the Children's Cuba Hospital be named after our Prime Minister, Kamala Prasad Bissessa, and all children, parents who don't want the computer, the laptop, tell the school so we won't have to buy extra. And then, promise make, promise deliver. Have a nice day, Andy. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Oh boy, Lennox, you on the screen. I will organize and I will communicate with Mikey. If there's anything, you will see how far you can push the program. I will be on the program, but via on the move due to technology. You know what I'm talking about. So I will be talking normal until end up into the meeting with the parent, with the teachers, or with the teacher. Okay? So I will be on
well,
as
I'll appreciate, of course, our communication to the minister as well. If you can
all
get
right,
that.
I will
So
organize and communicate with the minister. Right, I will tell him no later than about.
Having regard to all as one of the contingencies, because I don't want to be late without, of course.
All right, I will communicate with the minister.
Him having some kind of heads up as to why.
All right. And the appointment was for what time with the minister? 9 o'clock?
I have already communicated with Mikey. I have not gotten a response. I got a voicemail, but I did leave
all right.
Note as well.
Well, I'll communicate with the minister for you. Don't worry, I'll communicate with the minister. All right, but you on the screen, so you go watch everybody there on Gael. Everybody's watching you. Thousands of people with your super college language. Everybody's locked on to Lennox Smith.
Is super college the person said? College?
Yes, super
college
language.
All right, okay.
Super college.
I thought she said that. I thought she said something else. Okay, super college. All right, no problem. That's acceptable.
Yes,
all right.
Yes. So go ahead.
Yes,
and
indeed. Of course, people. We have I have a copy of the article where the leader of the opposition, Penelope Beckles, did in fact confess that the PNM would have lost its way, and I think it's good information to read it for you so that you get an idea as to what she has sent and what she meant by that statement carried in today's Guardian. I want to also say that we have said on this program that it was whenever that kind of what I consider to be confession would have been made, that it would have been too little, too late, and it has manifested itself. You see, first impression is important. And when you had, of course, a neophyte like, of course, Marcel, and then you had, of course, an experienced campaigner such as Al-Rari, talking in terms of, in the case of Al-Rari, the PNM gives, of course, the present government 12 months. And then you have, of course, the neophytes saying that the PNM is like the balisé. You dig it up, you root it out, whatever it is, and, of course, it goes back, and therefore they are going to resurface. And then, of course, I should say the leader of the opposition and potential political leader of the PNM in her initial salvos made statements of a similar nature, then of course you know that it was all about, and it is all about, power and the acquisition there too. We will return, we have been there before, and all that kind of talk, when in fact they should have had at least some kind of catharsis, some kind of purging, some kind of introspection to suggest that they did wrong to the population, and it is not that they have lost their way, not even in the way that she would have mentioned in the article. They simply mismanaged the economy for their personal agenda and their personal gratification and their greed. Let's not waste time. And therefore, once these words would not have come out as part of the plethora of apology that one would have expected as an ordinary citizen, then we know that they are insincere and that they continue to sow the seeds of hatred by the people for the PNM, and it doesn't matter who is in charge or the kind of leadership that will emerge, whether they have an internal elections or not. So let me just read that article so you have an appreciation as to what was actually said. And of course, the article is entitled, "We Have Lost Our Way." And then it continues, opposition leader Penelope Beckles, or Penny Beckles, speaks to party supporters at a 1 p.m. meeting in Philippines, South Trinidad. Of course, you notice that they said 1 p.m. meeting, meaning that there are other slates that and or individuals that are contesting that elections. So she is supporting or have organized the 1 p.m. slate. Of course, later down the road and leading up to the elections, I think it's on the 24th, thereabout, we will be, of course, identifying the individuals and, of course, giving some kind of analysis as to their suitability and whether or not the people should repose or have any trust in what she would have put together. So the article continues. Opposition leader Penelope Beckles admitted on Saturday night that the People's National Movement, PNM, had lost its way. She further stated that the party was in opposition because many of its officers fell down on the job. That's an understatement, but let me just discontinue any calls that I'm getting at this time. Yes, in a strongly worded address, as she prepares to officially assume the position of political leader, the Arima MP sent a warning to candidates contesting the PNM's internal elections later this month. We cannot, quoting her, we cannot move forward if they continue to operate in the way they are operating, she said. Beckles, who spoke at a meeting of one party.
Lennox.
Yeah,
I get on to the minister. He said you could come for 10. Well, I tell him expect you about 10:15. He said no problem.
Okay.
Right?
Okay, good. Right.
But make sure lock off early. Lock off at least 10 o'clock on the dot and head day.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right.
Okay, good. There's some other people that have to be waiting because I have to readjust my internal arrangements as well because they'll be meeting me for the original time. All right, I will pause in order to treat with that now that we know that is happening. Of course, we are one team, people, and when, of course, some issue pops up, we sort of substitute for each other and we adjust and amend. So that's an internal matter because the ultimate is you, the listenership and the viewership. Who are viewing either on social media and or on, of course, Gael, the Caribbean television station, or whatever other platform that you may be using. All right, so Beckles, the article continues. Beckles, who spoke at a meeting of one party, one of the slates contesting the internal polls, expressed concern that some members of the party were attacking people in a way we have never seen in the People's National Movement. I wonder whether that is a true statement or not. It's just that they will give the illusion that somehow this is a united party, this is a one party, and because of their longevity or the amount of years that they have been in office, in and out of office, or a party, that somehow that suggests that they are united. Well, of course, we have seen just before the elections the illusion of what Dr. Rowley called succession planning. And we see the chaos and the shambolic state of affairs to the point where the party has now imploded and now exploding in the faces of the people, whether you are sympathetic or unsympathetic, but in the national gaze. And that, to me, speaks volumes as to the contradiction and the illusion that would have been created by the leadership merely to stay in office, to do us evil, and to line their respective pockets with the resources of the country. That cannot be doubted. The article continues. She also said that there was a need for truth and reconciliation. Wow, very, very big term. Truth and reconciliation. So the truth about what really transpired, and certainly it is not that people have not just lost their way, but they have, of course, deliberately orchestrated and organized themselves in such a way so as to as to destroy and to, at the same time, raid the national treasury, because this is what this is all about. It is about us suddenly millionaires are suddenly driving all kind of nice car, and the classic exemplification of that fact is Balize House. I will not stop. Nobody should, in terms of them having to account to us as to how a party that was bankrupt, that was insolvent, literally, in 2015, according to Rowley, meeting some $5 million in debt owing to various media houses and other expenditure that they could not have met. But 9 years later, if not less, they are constructing a monstrosity called Balize House. Some say over $100 million. Well, I think that would be firm in terms of over 100 million, because the structure is not yet finished. And you've seen the intention is a glass structure. And then we're talking about furnishings and all of that to complete what you'll call a construction site. Not like what they left us with respect to the hospital and the central block and the airport in Tobago. Not that, to complete in reality, not an illusion that they created, of course, just for Rowley to say that he has his name on a plaque, and that is his legacy. Incomplete projects, and of course, mired in corruption, nepotism, and cronyism. You'll forgive me if I interject these little comments in order to put things in perspective, so that people understand what we are dealing with. Never again must we be lured by the PNM and its shenanigans and its delusions and its propensity to only seek office. And then they will say and do anything. Of course, I don't have to remind anybody about the fact that property tax was a no-no, that of course the whole question of subsidies was a no-no. That was before they got into office, of course, in 2015. And after they got into office, all kinds of specious and irrational justification for something that they said they will never do. And therefore the whole question of their integrity and their honesty and their inability to manage the affairs of the country and seek alternative ways that will be less pressurizing on the people. We have seen that they were prepared to choose off the cuff the most draconian measures, the most evil measures, the most devious measures, the most wicked and diabolical measures, and impose it on the people. Of course, on April 28th, the people spoke resoundingly. They're lucky they get 13 seats. They ought not to get any, as far as I'm concerned. It ought to have been all 39 seats in Trinidad. The UNC and the coalition of interest should have gotten. But in this business, there are always time to, of course, to recoup and, of course, materialize that which you would have predicted. In other words, I'm saying that you have another chance. That is the nice thing about politics. You always have another chance, another bite at the cherry. So it will come. Local government elections is coming up, and we're already, of course, focusing our minds on that. And I want to say, of course, we have not yet gotten to our satisfaction documented results from the EBC. We have gone, of course, through the Freedom of Information Act now, because we have made personal interventions and our elections agents. I'm talking here now about, of course, the Love candidate, Laventille Outreach for Vertical Enrichment, my party, whose candidate would have been Robert Mitchell, and who did, we don't know, we are yet to determine if it's over 4,000, close to the 5,000 that the PNM would have gotten in, of course, the Laventille East movement constituency which we contested. So we are still battling with the EBC on that matter, and we are satisfied, as I've said, that the PNM would have preferred to concede an early loss to the UNC and the coalition of interest than to lose any of the Laventil seats. That would have been spelled the death knell, the total annihilation of the PNM. And the leadership knows that. And therefore, of course, they have taken what I consider to be preemptive steps in order to make certain that reality does. We are not saying that the statistics that as we know it today may not be wrong, in other words, that it may be correct. But the fact of the matter is that the hesitancy and the dilly-dallying of EBC raises, of course, all kinds of suspicion, and we'll continue, of course, to pursue that matter to its natural and rightful end. The article continues. She also said that there was a need for truth and reconciliation within the PNM following its recent election defeat. I mean, and I think she should have qualified that election defeat, that massive elections defeat. I think I would have inserted, of course, that adjective to describe the nature of the defeat, massive elections defeat. Yes, of course, though the massive part is my words. She said its recent election defeat. As painful, the article continues, as painful as it is important for us to realize that as we build the party, we have to unite and we have to be one as a PNM, as she said. Well, of course, one and a PNM, Penelope Beckles wishes style. That's what she wished for. That's what she hopes for. But certainly, when one looks at how she began that venture towards the strides of becoming the leader of the party and the leader of the opposition, one have to take that with not just a pinch, not just a bucket, but a truckload of salt, because it's all about, again, seeking office without merit. Having said that, let me say, I don't know if the technician is there, but if we have callers to entertain, certainly I will do so. And if there are messages to be played, I will certainly pause. And yeah, so just tell me if there are callers. We'll still entertain calls.
Good
Go
morning,
ahead, caller.
TNT.
You have one?
Caller, you're live. Go ahead.
All right, good, beautiful.
Yes, hello.
Good morning. Good morning.
Yes, go ahead. Go ahead, caller.
Morning.
Caller, you can give a contribution.
Yeah.
You're live on air.
Hello? Hello?
Hello. Yes, we hearing you.
Yeah. Yes. Yes, hello. Hello. Go ahead. I am Solomon David of Williamville. I'm 98 years of age. And I know from the Canolias days, pound swimming and 10. You listen to what I'm saying?
Yes, we hearing you. Yes, we hearing you.
You hearing me?
Yes, we are. We hearing you live. We hearing you loud and clear.
Right. Well, I used to get...
Go ahead, caller, make your contribution.
Now we can't get nothing for 25 cents. I just take my bag. We had cocoa. It's PNM kill cocoa. You talk. Yes. We had cocoa. The PNM kill cocoa. We had copra. The PNM kill copra. Yes. PNM kill cocoa. We had citron. PNM kill citron. PNM kill copra. PNM kill the train. They close the train. Yes. 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 We had success. Yes. We had the train. We had the train. Yes.
If anything is being directed to me, I want to say I'm not getting it clear. I'll have to take the advice of Andy. I've yet to do so to get a headphone. So go ahead. And I'm guided by the technician in studio now.
Which sugar was the greatest employee of Trinidad and Tobago? They didn't satisfy, they killed the oil. So now we have nothing.
Yeah, boy.
You understand what I'm saying?
Caller, yes, we understand what you're saying, caller, but I'd like you to load on for a minute background. Please listen to us on air and give your contribution, please.
And ask him to, of course, that feedback that we're getting as well. A notice of feedback that is coming.
That's from his background.
So,
He's listening to the background.
Yeah, so lower when you're getting lower the volume in your on your device, so it interferes with the quality.
Okay, no problem. Thank you.
No problem. Thank you.
So you will guide me, technician, because I'm operating blindly here.
Oh, that's no problem. That's no problem. We have nobody on the line right now.
No, nobody. Okay, wait. So let me continue. As soon as something happens, just tell me. Or if you wish to share some voice notes, you'll also inform me. The article continues, of course. For those of you who just joined us, well, I am reading from an article that is entitled "We have lost our way." Of course, that is attributed to the current and potential, of course, leader of the opposition and the leader of the party called the PNM. And I mentioned some earlier issues, so I'll continue with this article. The article continues: when you learn your lesson and you go through this, and you go through the history of the party for the last 70 years, it is because no matter what happened, no matter if we lost, no matter if candidates didn't win, we found a mechanism to come back together through all the hurt and the pain and make sure that we go together as one PNM, she stressed. Well, of course, that is to, of course, secure some degree of loyalty that has been lost. Of course, she herself confessed, and others, that over 100,000 persons disassociated themselves, in particular in the last elections, from the PNM.
Lennox, you have a caller live?
Oh, you have a caller? Go ahead.
Caller, go ahead.
Yeah. Hello. Good morning.
Good morning. Yes.
I'm Lennox, Mickie. I'm from Grandy, and I want to just state that on Friday in Parliament, the UNC did well. They made us feel proud. But on Monday, when they came to Parliament, the people, national movement, the PNM people, they didn't come natural. They did blood sacrifices. They came in there with demons. The demons was to corrupt and confuse the UNC ministers inside of there. And God is watching them. And God have his children who, when you look at like a Penelope, her hand have animal blood. The hand have animal blood. Ingrid, his hands have dirty blood with a different person doing things for them. So it's not just the PNM in and talking. They're coming with demons. They had it before Lucifer. And these opposition did not come in natural, and they're affecting the UNC ministers there, affecting them with the demons. So you all have to look at that. They are not coming natural. They're doing blood sacrifice. And then they come be talking one way, but they're dealing with Lucifer. These people have to wash away. They have to get rid of them. Nobody's supposed to vote for them in local election. Nothing. They have Lucifer with them. Is Lucifer? These people use them. They're doing blood sacrifice and creating African monsters, and it confusing the whole country, Trinidad and Tobago. And this is my thing today. Gosh, Lord Jesus Christ, there's a set aside thing going on. These people have to recognize and just let them know that they know what they're coming with. They're not coming natural. Blood sacrifice they're doing and creating demons to confuse up the whole of UNC. And that's my contribution. God bless.
Thank you very much. So thank you very much for that contribution. There's some, I'm sure would agree with you. Others may have a contrary view, but of course, addressing the same issue.
Lennox, you have another one on your line?
In a different... We have another caller?
Of course. Caller, you can go ahead.
Go ahead, my friend. Go ahead, my friend.
Good morning, gentlemen. Good morning, gentlemen. Good morning, Lennox. Good morning, operator and Andy. Calling from the Barcode here. Gentlemen, for decades, I've been hearing that, it would be a major breakthrough for a political party if they win a Lavantil seat, and it will be the end of the PNM and all this kind of thing. You see that narrative? I don't support that. Reason why I don't support that is that if any Lavantil seat or Beatum or Sealot something vote for a different party or come on under a different color, the people would win. The party wouldn't really gain anything. The people of that community is the one who would benefit. The political party that wins our seat wouldn't really benefit anything. And the PNM, we don't want them to go nowhere. We want them to remain with that 3 or 4 seats that they have there to keep reminding themselves of the failure that they have brought onto this country. They must look at the development in that community from since Eric Williams days until the last days of existence, that they remain PNM and remain committed to the PNM government, where they come from and where they have reached and where they are going. If they cannot make that decision on their own and hoping that some other political party make a breakthrough to try to get them out of where they are today and cannot see it on their own, we don't want them to win at all. Let them remain PNM. We don't want a breakthrough. Because if every other community in the country where you see development made that breakthrough, at look point 14, Labre, places decided, La Hocta, Talparo, places where people was determined marginal, St. Joseph, and these people could make a concerted effort, and they are no oppressed communities, they are no crime-riddled communities, they are not communities where when you go for an interview, you have to change your address because from the time somebody say here, Lavantil and Beatum and thing, you don't get profile in a certain category. It could be your educator, brilliant, the best person for the job. But we know you don't get profile already. And if the people of these communities cannot see that, why look for a breakthrough in that community? And I don't want PNM go nowhere. I want to see these other idiots we listening to now in Parliament and how dotish they're making themselves look and how ridiculous they're looking. I'm sure that they are going to guarantee that PNM don't ever get governance again. I listened to Marva Gonzalez yesterday. Something wrong with that fella head. I listened to this Marcel fella. Something wrong with these people. I listened to the Gatsby Dolly. These can't be people who was in government. These cannot be people who are was politicians. Imbert, something wrong with that man. That man going senile and that man is a hater. And if any right, logical thinking human being who believe that, they want progress for our country and they want to see our country benefit. And listen to these fellas, you in opposition, but you hoping that a government that is trying to fix all the wrong that all you do fail. So what that telling you? If you're in a war, you go tell your whole army, hey, look, you see there, that is where they're killing everybody. All you go in there. That is what these people are telling this population. That is what this opposition creating for the population. It's and make sure that this government fail and destroy. So for 5 years, you want to see people in this country suffer. You want to see that every single thing that all you put in it, don't give them no laptops, don't improve this, don't improve the healthcare, don't improve nothing. Just continue with the direction them was going and let everything mash up. Just make sure that all of the thief money, where like how them thief, and is okay. And then tell the population, ban your belly, and ban this and ban that. You understand? So it comes down to again, if by now, if after over 60-something years, which is about 50-something years PNM was in office in this country, and people in Lavantil and Beetham and the most oppressed communities still want to go down that road and still want to remain in that abusive relationship, the dependent relationship, the relationship that you are treated like a dog, worse than us. Well, not my dog, because my dog is better off than all of them. And all you cannot wake up and understand that yet, and then look for somebody to make a breakthrough in your community and to make PNM feel that but these people don't care about nobody. You go tell me that you care about your child and treating them like that. You go care about something and treat them like that for years and years, and then you as that person go and hug up at that person and see that your neighbor, you're telling your child, watch, you see the neighbor, watch out them bad, watch out them are good, but you have shoes, you have clothes, you have nothing, you have education, nothing, and you complaining about the neighbor who you see going to school, the neighbor who eating good, the neighbor who getting good education, the neighbor who playing sport, everything the neighbor doing, but you telling your child, you better off than the neighbor. And you can wake up and see that something wrong with these people, and then there ain't no breakthrough. So let them remain right there for the next 10 million years, dotish and oppressed and illiterate. And let it keep PNM as a god and worship them. And then when the whole country move aside and elevate, all still remain in the days of slavery and oppression and complain and blame everybody else, but don't blame where the problem is and try to fix it. So wait right there, continue the position you're in, and when everybody move ahead, all is still back in the caveman days. Have a good morning, gentlemen. Enjoy the rest of the holiday. Take care. Later.
That's a fabulous contribution when you say Lennox.
All right. We have another call, or is it that I could continue?
I think you should continue for now. Yeah, go ahead now.
All right. Okay then. Beautiful. At your mercy, as I said, I'm operating blind. So continue with that article, of course. Until we will give way once you make your call. So we will give way, and of course, when the operator so determines, we'll also, of course, play your voice notes. So don't feel that because Andy is not here that your voice notes will be left in fallow, so to speak, or without being recognized by virtue of being played. But of course, I think it's important that we understand the mindset of the current crop of PNMites, and of course, our argument is that it is more of the same, in that they continue, of course, to believe that somehow somebody bequeathed Trinidad and Tobago to them, and that power is always in their hands, and nobody else, of course, could manage the affairs of the country. And of course, we have proven that time and time again, that of course this is not so. But they generated that illusion, and probably they believe it to the point where they always act in that manner, contrary to what the population would have perceived them to be, but they continue in that vein, and of course, ultimately, that will redound to their own ultimate demise or extinction, to use, of course, a biological term, probably. That being as may, Beckles highlighted the importance of making the PNM more inclusive, not just for long-term supporters, but for the wider population. We have heard that before, and of course, in practice, that has never been. Except, of course, you have the weird and rare occasions, such as, of course, that they will focus on Gypsy, for example. But that is just one of many. And then, for electoral purposes, they will, of course, poach on UNC activists, specifically targeting them in order for them to gain government. And when they gain government, of course, these people, Gypsy could have never been, for example, a minister in the PNM administration. He would have gotten, of course, the chairmanship of NCC for many of the years that they would have been in government. But certainly, in terms of being a minister, that would have been, of course, a sort of a cardinal sin, so to speak. But let's continue. She said the party needed to listen more and engage directly with citizens to regain their confidence. That is par for the course talk. Again, we have seen that happen before. Manning told us, of course, is a new PNM. Nothing different to what Penelope Beckles is now saying, and what indeed Rowley told us. But at the end of the day, they manipulate this system. They believe that they are law unto themselves. They engage, of course, in constitutionally protected independent institutions in a way so as to level their dominance and to show that they are large and in charge, and of course risking dictatorial and autocratic rule, as they have, of course, demonstrated over the last 10 years or so. So we are not going to be fooled by that. We have a caller? Go ahead, my friend.
Caller, proceed.
Good morning, Ground Report. Mikey, Lennox, Andy, wherever you are, Tunapuna here, fellas, and the Ground Report family. It's been a couple of days, almost 2 weeks I haven't called in the program, albeit because of I had a death in my family. My big sister died, and this week was her funeral, So I'm still mourning that death, but, the addiction to the program, I had to call in this morning to make my little contribution. Firstly,
I want to tell you, of course, before you continue, of course, our condolences, belated as it is, and of course, people have been calling for you, but they have missed you conspicuously, really, and I want to say welcome back, and in spite of your tragic circumstance, here you are. That is a true patriot. Go ahead, my friend.
Right. Firstly, I want to say this: the new police commissioner, Mr. Guevara, you have plenty on your plate, plenty on your table to deal with. And all the resume and all the qualifications and what have you, and that was touted in the parliament of all the accomplishment that you have in terms of, academics and your all your programs and this and that and what have you. Unless you want to get down to the basic thing, which is to investigate and arrest people for corruption in this country, because it is so much, it is rampant. It is I can't find a word to describe it, Lennox. And unless you don't do that, we will see you just as another Stephen Williams and all the others who were there as abysmal failure. The country is riddled with corruption, crime, and what have you. And crime is not just the little black boy or the little bandit on the street or the guy with the little weapon and smoking marijuana thing. The criminals are those in white-collar crime, including that of past government ministers and business associates, people from the Chamber of Commerce and all of that. Because all the things that the this present Prime Minister talked about, with the forex issues, the mafia and all these kind of things, Lennox, it has to be investigated thoroughly. Because look at the crisis today we're in. We didn't know the state of the economy. Right? You look at what is happening now that the Imbert and them actually they ignore the Constitution, which says that the Auditor General, on instructions of the Minister of Finance, can go into the central bank and request any information. But they ignore that, and the central bank governor has not complied with that ruling, and therefore he ought to be removed. Investigation in all these things, where 2 point something, nearly $3 billion is missing, cannot be accounted for. In addition to that, those things that the Prime Minister read out in the Parliament with contracts and all these kind of things, they have to be investigated. I am saying to you, Mr. Guevara, if you really want the people to work together with the police, to partner with the police in solving crime, you have to start from the top. Don't start from the bottom, because it's from there where the corruption and the millions and the billions of stolen resulted in people who cannot get a job, who cannot afford a better life, and resulted into crime and criminality. That's one issue, Lennox. It is amazing to hear the contributions yesterday in the Finance Committee meeting, and to hear the brutish questions that was being asked by the PNM and opposition. And all of that relates and it links to the failure and the corruption of the PNM, which they have failed and have this country in this crisis. And I am saying that, therefore, all these allegations that was brought by the now government, the minister, because look at we can all these companies, state companies and all of them, who have not produced financial audited accounts. All these people and them still in the job. They cannot, when they come to the Joint Select Committee, they cannot give a proper reason for money spent and all this kind of thing. Lennox, the time has come now that the government has to take the bull by the horn. Don't wait for people to resign, because some of them are resigning. Fire the backside, excuse my language. Fire them. I listened yesterday, Coleman Bott questioning the $2 million payment for the Auditor General in terms of the case that they won against the Minister of Finance. And they were questioning how come if that payment is to be made, how it's supposed to be made and whatnot, and that should have come from the Attorney General's office, that account, But they're saying that it came from the Auditor General account. How come Coleman Bott? I am saying this. That shouldn't come from the state. That should have come from you. You're supposed to pay that. Because of criminal negligence, of corruption, of thievery that resulted in that ruling by the court. And therefore you have to be made to make that payment out for your own personal account and not the state, be it the Attorney General's office or the Auditor General office. So all these things that we need to look into, and I am hoping Minister of Finance, Mr. Dev Tanko, tomorrow's thing, the budget, the media review budget, there will be more revelations, and I am saying this without any reservation or whatnot. I am calling on the judiciary, the legal services, the law association, the criminal bar association, the Chamber of Commerce and all of that. If all you're really serious about coming out to make this country better and to improve, all you have to give support to this government, Because if we want corruption to stop, if we want a better society, if we want crime and all the other things, education, health and what have you, to improve, all you have to give some legitimate support to this government. Because it is only now that we see that a government is very hell-bent on dealing it, taking the bull by its horn. You understand? And I want to say this again, that call me, but you have been found lying in the parliament again. And I want to say special congratulations to Comrade Clyde Elder on his maiden contribution. Because when there was questions asked and whatnot, when Mr. Tanko raised certain questions, call me, but got up and he said that the UNC did the same thing with the postal union and some other institution in terms of how they change around the thing and you know, put it to how they wanted it and what have you, in respect, because they were making reference to the revenue authority. But what Elder said was, hey, you're lying to the population, because when that decision was taken by the UNC, the trade unions were involved. You understand, Lennox? In the whole
Yes. Big difference. The trade unions, it wasn't unilateral, like how they impose so many initiatives on the people without consultation, especially in circumstances where they would have said they wouldn't do it, like the property tax and indeed, of course, the subsidies debacles. But go ahead.
And then again, more so, that there was no thing about contract work and not imposing on the workers, you know, making it mandatory. If you don't take it, you could be fired, you will transfer, and all these things. And as the Comrade Elder said, none of these jobs are readily available in any other government institution, because this is where tax is concerned. There is no other department in the country where tax and so is concerned that these people, these employees, went and train and qualified to be tax consultants and what have you and what not. So Aimbot was lying to this population. And I am saying the time has come now that the government, this government, have to bring a motion to bring Colin Aimbot before the Privileges Committee and get him out of the blasted parliament, because we cannot continue with this failure, especially when we cannot account for our financial resources. What is our status of our reserve in the bank and what have you? We don't even know how much money we borrowed, how much money we owe in, and all these kind of things. It's just a guesstimate, because, as the Minister of Finance said, every day is new revelations of money that they owe in and all these kind of things, and some of the people who they owe in. Because some of the questions I heard Gatsby Dolly and Martha Gonzalez and them asking yesterday, you have to be, Lennox, you have to be a madman for you to really sit down and listen to these people asking questions and Penelope, because you just as illiterate as them. Because I hear you ask a genuine question in the parliament yesterday. You want to be the prime minister of this country, you're the leader of the opposition, and you cannot put two complete sentences or make a proper contribution to what is taking place presently or what happened in the past. I know you wouldn't want to go back in the past, but when the government now is putting it to you that you all are responsible for what is happening today, you ducking and running and making all kind of frivolous excuses and whatnot. Mr. Guevara, Commissioner of Police, Mr. The two other ministers, Mr. Sturge and Mr. Alexander, ministers, friends, here what happened? Oh, you have plenty work, you know. We could recover back plenty money from under investigation, seize people assets, the Stuart Young and all them kind of things. Because Stuart Young asked, and you know what was very ridiculous of Stuart Young? When he was saying that when the government, in terms of this new bill they wanted to propose, they said they were giving too much power to the Minister of Finance and whatnot and things. Where was all this power that was given to Colin Aimbot to take away money and lend to a paper factory, to making your brother a billionaire, all kind of things, to recruiting all yourself, to make you and Rohan Sinanan and all you filthy rich but getting money or whatnot. It wasn't too much power in the hands of the Minister of Finance then. Lennox, I am making a genuine plea. I am calling on every citizen to this country. Support this government, because here we're going after the white-collar criminals, And that is members of the banking sector and all of them, you know. Don't we fool ourselves? Because the kind of money that I hear talk about, loans taken with Scotia Bank and all of them, and they involved in criminal activities. Because where's the Financial Intelligence Unit? Where's the Security and Exchange Commission and all of them? Lennox, you know what is amazing, Lennox? I'm wrapping up now. When I listened to this debate yesterday, you know the allocations from different offices. You know some of them was under $1 million. Some of them was just about $1 million. You know it was the P&M. You know what it be? It had run into everything. Would have run into millions and hundreds of millions of dollars allocations for all the different sectors of governance. So when it goes to show that this government is not prepared to squander and to waste money because they know that it's tight budget and they have to operate within budgetary allocation. So they have allocated just sufficient for the ministries and what have you, the state agencies are they to undertake the work and not this free for all and all of them. And finally, Lennox, you know, I listened to I think I read on the papers or on the news that this lawyer fellow, Russell Martineau, because remember the government was calling on the board of Politico to resign. And Russell Martineau advised them, no, not to do so. That it's not possible to them. I want to tell Russell Martineau.
What he advised them? What the advisor? Repeat that for me.
He advised them, no, not to resign. It was on the paper, on the news. And therefore, you was one of the poor lawyers who got the majority, I think it's something, if I'm not lying, about $12 million in brief under the P&M. Understand what I'm telling you? And therefore, the board that only appoint, because they cover them losing money, and all these state companies and them who did not file the reports.
Yeah, after 3 years, they were struck off, yes.
After, right, was struck off of the registry list and whatnot. We are coming after all you. Because if all you cannot account for the money that was allocated to all these institutions, the billions and the Lennox, then we're dancing, spinning top in mud. So, Mr. Guevara, you and your legal team, your police, get your contingents together, your top brass for police, and let us go through this thing like a fine-teeth comb. We're going after all of them. All. As experienced with the dismissal of all the petrol trade workers. Lennox, brother, I want to thank you very much for giving me this extra time. And I hope Krishna will accept me, right? Take care.
Well, I don't think anybody should have a regard, of course, to the pertinency of the information that you would have disclosed. I think those are very high level discourse that would have been expressed in relatively simple terms, so that the people could have an appreciation as to some of the complexities that governments encounter and are engaged in. But of course, their job is so to address, and of course, the population, by and large, may allow them to do so because they trust them. But when we have people like us, where of course the input does not equal the output, and that, of course, is a fairly rudimentary analysis, then, of course, we need people like yourself to, of course, say and give explanation as to why we are not seeing quite a lot of money put in, but very little, of course, outcome. And I think that is where people like yourself come in. Let me just take this call.
All right, glad you're going to do that. Right, Lennox, so here what? I'm going to take one more. I want to take one more call, and I know you have to leave. So I'm gonna play voice notes after the next for 9:30 to 10 to close off the program. So hope you all could work with that. Caller, you live. Good morning.
Good morning to Lennox and to everybody out here. Good morning, Mr. Barack Paul. Anything Penny say it surprises us. Imagine the woman stood up on a platform and telling the people that while she was campaigning with Cummins, right, people were telling her how much they got from the UNC or whatever. And Penny have no shame to say that she told them, take what they're giving you and vote them out. PNM did not give them anything. Nothing. UNC had to come in and give it to them, and those were the people that was flooded out, right? And you telling them, take what they're giving you and vote them out? And now she talking about WAM. How come it is that they lost the San Fernando West seat? It's because of the boundaries. Who cut the boundaries? Who cut the boundaries? The PNM EBC? But you see, they feel people out here have suffering from selective memory syndrome. But no, we remember everything is all you do. So don't come now and playing the sanctimonious hypocrite, right? That we will get back there and our quantity is better than their, no, our quality is better than their quality. When and where? When and where? Not for what we heard yesterday. And also, I heard, well, it was reported, Mrs. Prasad Bissessa told the Minister of Finance to use every law to get the governor of the central bank to give them the, to do the audit or whatever. Yes, if they have to use every law, they do everything legal, right, to get that man to answer all the questions that he's supposed to answer. And Lennox, you know, when you teach people, you as a teacher, you will know that, when you're teaching people something and they acknowledge it and they implement it, and you know, and you feel so proud of them that you have to compliment them. I want to compliment Krishna. Finally, we get Krishna to settle down and stop ranting and raving and bawling and make a proper contribution. I was shocked. And even Andy was shocked that you could understand exactly, see, when you're cool and calm and collective, what happens. Never mind you repeated yourself a little bit, but that's okay, you can learn it, right? We understood everything that you said. And for years, I have been telling PNMites about altar classes. I told them that it was free and make use of it. Don't boast about the PNM education. Use the altar classes. And now, Lennox, imagine PNMites are now telling people to use the altar classes. You see, Lennox? They did learn something, and I am so proud of that I told them about it, and I'm still going to remind the new ones that coming up, make use of the altar classes. It's free, and you will learn a lot. Lennox, thanks a lot, and have a good one. Take care.
And of course, I will. It will be remiss of me if I didn't indicate that, of course, all of that was possible through the Ground Report and other platforms such as the Corridor Transformation over the many years. And of course, human beings have a different learning curves, of course, and they learn at different rates and so on. But of course, at the end of the day, once you are edified, once you can implement, especially that which you would have learned because it is advanced, then certainly, of course, credit and kudos must be advanced to such individuals who have taken a deliberate choice to, of course, improve themselves. We have a caller?
Yes, indeed. Good morning to the Ground Report.
Good morning, good morning.
Lennox, I want to suggest that
good morning.
In a contribution this morning to the minister, that they could look at the youth camps. The youth camps played a very significant role into the lives of people of Trinidad and Tobago. Also, the El Dorado Girls Youth Camp, I did some research and get to understand that 90% of it is almost finished, so it is something that we could look towards. Also, that I can remember experience at a time I went up in Tanapuna, and I just see a flood of people. It was all over the place in the night, walking through the community, and it was one of the Caribbean countries came to Trinidad and Tobago to experience how we do what we do in terms of the Girls Youth Camp and so on. This is, I believe, the Girls Youth Camp and the youth camps in general could roll out some of Kamala Prasad initiatives, which talk about warehouses, sewing construction, and garment construction and all that. Those youth camps could be used as a training facility to roll up those initiatives and stuff like that. You talk about exporting garments and everything to different countries and all that. So you could look at that in terms of that type of development and supporting Kamala Prasad initiatives. Those could look at roll-off points, roll-off initiatives that could assist. They like beauty culture, you know, sewing and all that. They love that fascinate them, fashion, that fascinate their minds and all that. So those are initiatives that we could look. Those are low-hanging fruits that could roll off some of the initiatives that Kamala Prasad suggested during our town meetings and so on. That is something that we could also look at. And thank you very much for everything.
All right, Lennox, take it over. The floor is yours.
Yes, but do we have any voicemails?
Yes,
Voice notes that we could
Yes,
share?
we do, but
Oh,
I say I'll play them for the next half an
you
hour, so you
all
can
right,
get a
okay
leave.
then.
So
All right,
you can leave
I'll
as
leave it
well.
up to your discussion.
Right, so you
I
take
would like to
over.
continue, of course, with that article because I think that is very pertinent to the characters that we'll have to face as part of the governance of Trinidad and Tobago, which, of course, in our system, the opposition plays a role, even though, of course, those who occupy the executive positions, as we have seen, of course, very despicably attempting to emasculate and to silence the opposition, even though the principle operates where, of course, while the majority will get their way, the minority must have their say. We have seen that emasculation of the say of the minority in the previous parliament, the 12th parliament of this country under Rowley, and that Chinaman abused by, of course, the Speaker of the House and indeed the President of the Senate as well, who is now, of course, the substantive president of the country. I'm talking about Mrs. Kangaloo. That being as it may, of course, Beckles, I mentioned that already. She highlighted, of course, the fact that the party needed to
Professor Lennox.
listen more and engage directly with the citizens to regain their confidence. Of course, and she continued by saying
Lennox?
one common thread.
Hello, yes, I'm with
If
you.
you have a call, go ahead.
Yes, you have a call on the air. Go ahead, sir.
Good morning, Diego Martin inside. Good morning, Lennox, Mickie and Andy Weria. A couple of things. I want to reflect on the Standing Finance Committee meeting yesterday. Yes, it's a learning curve from the new member of parliament, but what is interesting, the season's government MPs and now minister performed well, whilst the new ones was in a learning curve. But of particular interest to me, in order for those new ones, those new ministers, to be up front and center with all the information, it is the duty of the permanent secretary to provide them with the answers. So what that is basically tells us now, we have a lot of questionable permanent secretary that has to be looked at and see if they are fit for purpose with the agenda of this government. And I'm not saying to fire them, move them, but just review them appropriately and make the decision. Because you remember there was a finance permanent secretary, due diligence, who ended up as one of the directors of the NICON. Remember, she was advising the former PP government to mothball the World GTL plant. And when the PP government came into office, she was one of them who raised her hands to provide finances for the eventual owners of World Duty Well, which was basically taxpayers' money. So we have to be very, very careful of that.
Is it the person who was also on the board of the Republic Bank, having, of course, acquired it through the arrangements through the courts as far as the compensation of the government from CL Financial? Is that the person you're referring to?
We call them sleeper cells of the PNM. The other issue is that the fact that I'm saying certain people have to be pulled out of their comfort and in sync with the agenda of this new government. We have to look for 4 offices, high office holder and organization. The Police Service Commission, a PNM appointed police has to go. They have had the 2 previous, the current and the previous, had made a mess of the selection process of a commissioner of police, inclusive of Gigi, Erla, Benjamin, and now we have Guerrero. What I'm saying, if you have the same people doing the same thing, you will get the same result. And I'm not saying this new gentleman who is not in the leadership of the police service will fail. But I'm saying, if they're doing the same thing, it's like pulling a selection, because there's a source selection, using a brand tab to pull out a person and put them in the office, because we didn't see no merit list. They didn't give the current government an option to look at other candidates. That's one. So let me identify those four office holders organizations that must go. All must go. Police Service Commission, the current central bank governor, I don't know what he wants to hide, and he playing hardball. So he has to go. The third one is the judiciary. We had to fix the judiciary. The Awi boys, the Chief Justice, and Master Caesar. Both of them have issue to answer to. So I don't know why they don't pull the 137 for both of them, the constitutional mandate to impeach them or to make a decision on them. Caesar Ayer and the Chief Justice, because he has lots of questions to answer. And the other two is, I said, the police commissioner, the central bank, the Chief Justice. There is one more that has basically to go. But it has been slipping my mind.
Of course, I am privy to that, the equal opportunities.
Aye, that is the one. Because if you look at last night, yesterday evening, when they were appropriating money for the Equal Opportunity Tribunal, they come up with a sum of 350. But a lot of people mightn't be able to understand why is that. And I do my little research, and there was one judgment that, based on that judgment, she should have gone like last year. That the Viva Bagan issue, and it was $350,000 awarded to Viva Baran. One was for embarrassing in 100,000, and the other 250 is vindictory damages. So I suspect the PNM asked that question at all because that person was part of the gospel of the PNM, a former PNM senator. So we have to fix the country and we have to move people forward. It's surprising a lot of those questions they didn't ask. No question, because they know anytime they ask a question to the current government, they open up several cans of worms. Look at it, your good friend. I don't know if he's still your good friend. The former public minister of utilities. I think he has a name like Mava. You understand? He has question to answer with the Matthews Lezama issue. He was the main witness. I don't believe even he did a witness statement or affidavits for the court. So all of those.
I think that witness was discredited in the court. I fondly recall having followed that particular matter. The statement issued by the then minister was discredited in the court. But go ahead.
Yeah, and that judge who castigated him for that kind of thing, she is related to the president, you know. She's the niece of the president. So just by that, because we know, I mean, it's a personal and objectivity and subjectivity could sometimes cloud your judgment. But this one wasn't no clouded judgment. He has question to answer. So I don't know why he got annoyed when it was raised and thing. We have to be transparent. The other issue, you remember that that same gentleman was asking about the indemnity, and he was asking about legal fees for the PIACO. But I want to tell people about this indemnity and understand it. The government has basically appealed something, or their argument is that the former Attorney General erred by signing off an indemnity. So what they're saying is wrong. But my problem, why you continue to do it when, if he erred, you didn't charge him and bring him before the court to answer charges? So that kind of folk tongue analogy. 1 minute you say he erred, and the next minute you prosecute him. I'm going to have a nice morning.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
as they go to talk, the board going to light up again. But Lennox,
All right.
take the floor.
We have another call, or you want me to continue?
You go ahead and continue. No
All right.
line
Okay.
right now.
As I said, interrupt. Don't believe that you're interrupting. Just to say so, and I will, of course, give way. Of course, again, I am trying to get you to informed as far as Penelope Beckles is concerned, and the characters that are now managing the affairs of the PNM, coming out, of course, of a so-called experts will call succession planning, and clearly succession planning could never have so much chaos as we are seeing, of course, being exhibited and unfolding before our very eyes at this time within the PNM. So, of course, the illusion of the so-called stable party and the best party and so on has now been exposed, and therefore it is exactly that, an illusion. So let's continue. The article says, of course, quoting from Penelope Beckles, somewhere along the line, if we are being honest, we have lost our way as it relates to the functioning of many of the arms of our great party. Wow, that is a hell of a statement, man. Imagine the functioning of... Now that is apart from the dysfunctionality that they brought, of course, to government and governance. We are talking about within the PNM itself, even though we were being told, and of course, people like Penny and others were silent when Rowley was saying that it's the best thing since sliced bread, and that they were around longest, and that they gave this and give that and so on. But of course, everybody now knows that with the kind of resources that went through successive PNM administration, Trinidad and Tobago ought to be the Singapore of the West, or some say the Dubai, whichever it is. The fact is that we are far from that, and we, of course, are tinkering on a collapsed society and an economy as well. So it continues, that article, and those who have offered themselves to serve know that we have to do better, because some of the reasons why we found ourselves in opposition is because many of the officers fell down on the job. Whether she's trying to placate or whether she's trying to use what I consider to be pernicious reverse psychology, it will not work. It will not work. The fact of the matter is that they have boasted that they are better than the rest, that they are the best thing since sliced bread, and when, of course, you look at the underbelly, when you look at the under the skin of that facade, that boast that they would have been projected to the people, we see an organization that is not just shambolic, not just in chaos, but clearly is dysfunctional. Beckles, who is unopposed for the position of political leader in the internal elections on June 22nd. So it's June 22nd now, not 24th as I had indicated earlier. So it's June 22nd. They have another very important mission as well. I think sometime afterwards they have a convention where they will announce, of course, the victors at that function. In the meantime, of course, the status quo remain as far as the party officers are concerned. So they have that election for which they are campaigning now, and all kind of nastiness is, of course, emerging, so much so that she said that things are not going to look good for me when I officially take over the leadership of the party. That is what, in effect, she is saying, because of the nastiness that is being, of course, unveiled. In other words, the dirty linens that the PNM boasts that never is washed in public is now a reality. Heads of the one party slate, which also includes Marvin Gonzalez, chairman, Foster Cummins, general secretary, Amory Brown, vice chairman, and Faris Al-Wari, public relations officer. So these are some of the people that she has recycled, so to speak, And of course, the article, I think, was very, very clear in terms of what its intent was by identifying these old guards, so to speak, who, of course, have been accused of all kinds of what I consider to be unsavory conduct in terms of their avarice and in terms of the abuse of office. I say no more on that one. Noting that next year the PNM would celebrate its 70th anniversary, she said every constituency lies.
We have a caller, Lennox.
Yes,
we have a call. Go ahead, caller.
Good morning. What I forgot to say is that the El Dorado Girls Youth Camp, it was the only girls youth camp in the Caribbean, right? And other countries used to come here to see what we do and how we do it. The only girls youth camp, so we have a title in which to build upon. Thank you very much.
All right, you may continue.
Okay, yes. So she was saying every constituency lies in the footprint of former PNM political leaders, Dr. Eric Williams, George Chambers, Patrick Manning, and Dr. Keith Rowley. Of course, the latter of them all is not just despicable, but needs much to be desired. In fact, mentioning that name alone, you want to vomit. But yet still, of course, she had to do that in order to keep the faithful and to, of course, leave open her chances of resuscitating a party that clearly is all but dead. Foster, of course, is now making a statement in that very article. He's saying, of course, early election didn't work for the PNM. So this is Foster Cummins talking now. He said, Foster Cummins, who is seeking the position of General Secretary, acknowledged that an early election did not work for the party. He revealed that he was one of those who voted against an early general elections. Well, I want to know what other choice they had, because we on the ground report consistently said that they would have had to call an early election. Of course, we predicted that last year and the year before. That's to tell you the extent to which the avalanche of distress that they would have imposed on the people by way of their arbitrary type of governance and the pressures that the pushback that the people was, of course, exhibiting, that it would have been impossible for them to last put another way, last the entire term. And of course, we see that manifest as well as part of our predictions. We predicted, as I said, and there's no boasting here, but this is about reality, because if the pollsters were saying something to the contrary, then we have to, of course, say that we were the true pollsters, and nobody could fault us for that, because it turned out to be the reality. We told them that, of course, in the internal elections in Tobago, which, of course, caused them to lose handsomely. I talk about the PNM, they lost 14-1. They're lucky they get a seat. And then we told them that, of course, they will lose the two seats in Tobago. I'm talking about the parliamentary seats, and that materialized. And then, of course, our prediction here in Trinidad was that all 39 seats in Trinidad would have gone to the UNC and the coalition of interest. They're lucky they get 13 in the 13th parliament. I suppose some people tell me that number is a blight. So they are further cursed by having 13 members or having 113 seats. So let's see how well we are seeing that unfolding in the parliament as we speak. But of course, in this article, Foster is saying that he was opposed to, of course, an election. And the point I am making here by saying all of that is that the party had no choice. So that is an asinine position, because, again, demonstrating how illusionary these fellas are. And they were unable, of course, to feel the pulse of the people and the atmosphere that was, of course, circulating around them. But somehow they were living in this bubble, believing that somehow they are doing well, when, in fact, the population was up in arms and was ready, of course, to express their disgust, as they did, of course, on April 28th of this year, just 2 months ago.
Lennox,
and of course, he continues. You have a caller? Go ahead, caller.
Caller, you live?
Lennox, Felix here, right?
Yeah, go ahead, my friend.
Yeah. What going on? I went and do some researching on the word Jack A. You will know what I'm talking about. That is a donkey.
Yes.
Right? It means stupid and ignorant. Right? It says nothing about curse or anything like that. I want to know where them people saying and that word is mentioned in Peter 2.
Excuse me.
Chapter 2.
I understand where you're coming.
Verse 16.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
And I'll make my point after.
All right.
Lennox?
You wanted to make a comment, operator?
Yeah, what happened is that I've seen a lot of people making the same comment this morning. My problem is not with the word.
A lot of what?
The problem is not with the word, right, that is being used. It's in the form in which it is being used. Not what you say, it's how it is being said. It's being used in a derogatory term earlier today.
Yeah.
So that's why
You're
we
quite
must kind of
right.
like
You're
filter
quite
it
right.
out, okay? Don't take it to heart on the terms of the word
deeper
itself.
than that. It is deeper than that. In cultures, like in our culture, for example, when you use that term, it is seen to be, it is viewed as a derogatory one. Like take for instance, if you tell a fella he is ignorant, really and truly, in our cultural expression of it, it appears is really and truly that the man is hasty, that he like to fight, etc. When in fact ignorance itself means, of course, lack of knowledge. So so depending on the cultural expression, words have different meanings in different places, and that is what has happened to the synonym for donkey, all right, in Trinidad and Tobago. So that's why Tatande will, of course, be aware that, of course, that is in fact so, because it is being used in the local cultural context. I just want to make sure we put things in perspective here. So while the word itself, you're quite right, operator, is not offensive, but the fact, the way how we use it and the cultural evolution, let's put it that it has come into our vocabulary as one that you could use, derogatorily. All right. That means as it may, we have a caller, or could I continue?
Yeah, Lennox. Hello?
Yeah, go ahead. You're still alive.
Yeah. Lennox.
Sorry, I thought he had left. Go ahead, caller. Go ahead. Make your contribution.
Yeah, two things.
Because you can disagree with me.
Yeah. Could you get an earphone? I tell you, Andy beg you to get one, because when you talking, he talking, and sometimes I call you are hearing me, and other people want to contribute.
Yeah, I had to get it. I had to take Andy's advice, so that goes without saying. So I acknowledge that. Because I'm really getting some challenges.
Yeah, if I was movable, I could have come and drop one for you, but you know about my condition, so please get one. And then next thing, can I give you a call after the program?
Lennox is asking if he can give you a call after the program.
Okay, no problem. Because I didn't hear that part. So his argument is unfolding as we speak, because the argument is that I have to get a headphone. All right.
Right. Thank you. I'll call you. All right. Have a good day.
All right, caller. Thank you very much.
We have another call?
Not at the moment, but I have 4 more minutes for you. Hold on.
Let me continue then.
Yes, you have 4 more minutes to continue before I start running these voice notes, and that means you have also 30 minutes to get to where you need to be.
Yeah, that will give me more than enough time to conclude. Nine of us. Of course, this is Foster Cummins speaking. 9 of us stood up and said, if you do this, we are going to lose. Of course, it was not the call of Rowley. By that time, Rowley would have made his exit, and in came, of course, entered, if to use a Shakespearean play stanza, if you want to call that. And in come, of course, Stuart Young. And of course, he called an election within, of course, days or hours of becoming, of course, the prime minister of the country. All right, so he is saying that he was in disagreement. Foster is telling us what really transpired now. His version of it, I suppose people will have other versions as well, but let's take it for what he says here. That 9 of them said no, there should not be an early election. And could you please not continuing, of course, with his words? Could you please not usher the PNM into opposition? There were some others who were not in the 9 said so as well, he said. So 9 persons were very vocal that they should not call an election, but really and truly Cummings is short-sighted, bad, because I mean, what they could have hold on to, they were dangling on a dribble, and a dribble eventually bursts. They simply couldn't go to September this year, which was when the election would have been constitutionally due, and they had no choice because they were being battered by the population, and of course the population making demands that they call elections now, then. So let's not waste time with Cummings. Cummings are just platitudinous and, of course, self-gratification if you want to, of course, try to score points in an internal election that is irrelevant to the rest of us. What we want, of course, is to see the government move forward with its agenda, having, of course, delivered some of it already, some of the low-hanging fruits. But we want, of course, the more substantive one where, of course, the economy is resurfaced, the people are getting jobs, and that the quality of life and standard of living returns to, or should I put it this way, reach a level that all of us are aspiring so to do or be. Cummings, who also called for healing within the party, said it was the first time he had seen the PNM eating each other like how some animals eat others. So he's saying that the PNM has now turned into a cannibalistic group of individuals. Cannibals, of course, cannibals meaning that animals that they eat their own kind, including, of course, human beings. So the PNM has now been described as cannibals. Wow. That is a fantastic statement, which of course is necessarily the truth, because they are blaming each other like wildfire. How did we get
Hold
there?
on,
He
Lennox,
asked.
we have a caller on the air.
We have another caller. Go ahead.
Yes, we do. Caller, you live?
Yes. Good morning, gentlemen. Again, Barack Paul here.
Good morning.
Gentlemen.
Yes, good morning. Yes.
You know, this last election, right? This is part of our history. This could be part of what 50 years from now our citizens would be learning as history. But you know, history is something that you would like to remember, and you would like to learn from it or draw from it. But knowing where we came from the last 10 years of this PNM government, I don't think anybody would want to be a part of that history. I hope this becomes like a nightmare in our history. I feel like I'm overusing that word history now, where all the faults and Stuart Young becoming a prime minister for one day and calling election in the next week and Rowley giving up this, it shows how illiterate of a government that was governing this country. It brings you back to the knowledge of understanding Timbuktu, how it just had a few set of people there that thought that there was the best thing, the most intelligent, educated set of people, and they just pilfered out all the resources of Timbuktu, one of the most wealthiest places in the world at that time, with so much gold and resources, and they keep fooling the people under the guise of religious beliefs and this kind of thing, and they just pilfered out all the gold and resources and things. And it come back to like Trinidad is the present day Timbuktu, with a few people that went into government and pilfered out all the resources and they, as soon as they get the opportunity, they just jump out and they go on their way. And they couldn't care less what happened to the country or the citizen again. And I hope that this 10 years, or not the 10 years, but the period, the couple months of the transition where Rowley give up and he do his stupidness and Stuart Young come and thing, that we don't ever mention that again. Because I don't think I want my children to remember I was part of a illiterate, dotish society that allowed something like this to happen and was part of it. Knowing how I just try to keep them on the right path and impart whatever knowledge I have and thing, for them to probably next 20 years I see it now. But, you know, I reading this thing in our history and Daddy was part of it. That will kind of make me feel shame. That will kind of, that is probably one of my downfalls. That's why you see, whenever we had little marches and things, I never went there to voice our opinion and thing. I went there to stand up and lose my life for something that I could have been remembered for. Because as soon as I was always stand up in a kind of direction, watching the police reaction and thing, and I wasn't there with the tear gas thing. Probably that was a divine intervention again. But I always look from my side to see they roughing up somebody to rush in and lick down one of them or some kind of thing like that. And make the point of what a protest supposed to be and the results supposed to come out of it and all kind of thing. Because being a part of what transpired this year with elections and the only good thing come out of it, we get rid of these people. But I want to see more from what has been revealed now in Parliament and the kind of misappropriation and, well, oh God, I just try to use decent media language, but the thief in these people, thief, but oh God, it's sickening. Every time you listen to the Prime Minister when she saying that, okay, 30 million was allocated for that, but they have a bill that ends recorded for 40 million. And these money were these same people who used to be lining up in the hot sun and begging for hampers, and the leader telling them, ban all your belly, that if you want a back pay, you could lose your job, and all you have to take 4%, all you have to be so lucky for that. And these people will make themselves billionaires in 10 years. And that is part of our history. That would be part of our history. I hope something happens that we get some kind of amnesia in this country, and that this part of our history, it's eliminated. But I'm so embarrassed to say I'm a Trinidadian, because when I travel and then we talk to people, talk to me, and they say, boy, all you're allowing this kind of thing to happen to, what happened to all you? All you lose all the testicular fortitude, or we grandparents, I think, would never allow this. And then these people coming now in Parliament and talking, them really real. I just tell you the kind of shame these people don't have. They don't have no integrity. They don't realize that they are human beings. That's where Imbert and them, Alwari and them is right now. They don't think that they are human beings. They feel that they are some kind of superior beings over everybody else because they get away with the most heinous crime against humanity in a country like ours, and still have the voice to come out and be in the public domain. Let me tell you something, boy, there's always a lucky thing I had 2 daughters and my life different, you know. Otherwise, let me tell you something, it would be a big difference, and trust me. Have a good morning, gentlemen. I am going to go down that road. Later. Take care. Bye.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. We have another call?
No. But Lennox, the time is 9:36, and in the words of Imbert, okay, take it outside. In the words of Imbert, you need to take it outside. You need to be out of here, sir. You have someone waiting on you.
All right, okay.
All right, then. Take your exit, please. I can play this voice notes.
Of course, I am making my exit, of course, in the interim, of course, those voicemails will be played until 10 o'clock, of course, and we will see you tomorrow. Have a wonderful rest of the day. And, of course, those of you who would yearn for and, of course, get it, well, of course, you'll get it tonight as well. I'm talking about the corridor transformation. So on behalf of Andy, Mickie, and myself, of course, and my friend who has done a human service this morning as a substitute, have a wonderful rest of the day. Back to you, my friend.
All right, folks, we're gonna start playing these voice notes from the top. There's a lot of them. Any new ones come in, I will play them. If I get a call in between, I will also allow the call to go through depending on time, and we will close now of 10 o'clock. So let me get this party started.
Hey, all the morning. They just lost the way, you know. They lost everything. As the caller before said, they reduced the cocoa product. You see, our Citrus Growers Association, we need to bring that back, right? The Citrus Growers Association, where we should manufacture our own juices, you understand? And it will bring employment because people will be able to plant more oranges, you understand? Bring back the citrus growers. They did just like how we bring back petrochin. This PLM government give away everything and sell everything that natural resources that we had. It's time for us to bring back our natural resources. One of them is the Coconut Growers Association too, where we can make good coconut oil and this kind of thing. The copra and the cocoa and the oranges, bring back that. Bring back the Citrus Growers Association manufacturers. Let us bring it back and manufacture our own juices and things. Have a lot of orange. Look how we price of orange reach now. $5 for orange. When we had a lot of people planting oranges because they were dependent on citrus growers. Now we don't have that people are planting. The little orange you have now, we pay $5 for one orange in a country like Trinidad and Tobago. You understand? Let us bring it back. PNM wipe us clean this dirty PNM people. What fellow people that could say no the truth, they can't come back. I ain't seen them coming back. The people of Trinidad and Tobago who are still PNM, they're just wicked to themselves and wicked to the children. You know, thank God for Auntie Kamala that we could get $2,500 in pension. What PNM give them? Nothing, and they still holding on to these PNM people. They still, in the boom days, PNM was giving us $300 as a pension. You know, you understand? $300 never raise it. Thank God that family come in and raise it, and they feel shame when they come and raise it after they come back in power. It's Kamala who come and raise, and I was getting $2,500. PNM say they put 9.5 years. They put $1 more on it, and they was looking to make restrictions. They was looking to make restrictions about if you have 25,000 in the bank, you can't get a pension, and them have millions in the bank, and we still have our taxpayers' money, still have to pay them their pension. You understand? Still have to give them the money for being a government minister. So why we can't cut their pension too? Let us cut their pension now. PNM people not coming naturally, they do wicked and bad. They come to fight down with UNC. Where benefit letters get them out from? Our went on vacation while Rowley was in power. All of them went on vacation. And he could do what he want. Now that he know that they having voice. Just so they might come back from holidays and they could tell Kamala what they had to tell Kamala. You understand? They're wicked and bad. They're not easy. But they have a blessing. But the PNM is not doing anything good for this country. In the last how much years, they just bring country to destruction. Everything they get is PNM who give out all our natural resources. All our natural resources. It wasn't the UNC that get rid of it. It's PNM that get rid of all our natural resources. And these people in Lamont choose to remain in that same boat and they have a big hole and water getting into it. And they rather go down with the boat. Well, then so be it. Because if they don't want to raise their head, if they don't want to raise their head above water and stay alive, well then what could we, the rest of the nation, do about it? We can't do nothing about it. Because PNM do nothing more than carry this country down. You understand? And they know that the people say, what they say, people stupid. So we're trying to say that all them PNM people stupid, they go vote back for them. You understand? They're satisfied for what they getting, nothing. Right? You put in swimming pool for them. What they go do? They go eat swimming pool. They could eat as when the day when the children have no money to go to school, the day they are not to feed their children, they can go by the swimming pool and get anything. Come on. People, raise all your heads. Think. Let us look for betterment and stop thinking about Indian and Negro race, this racial thing. What the PNM bring here. So much of us have Indian wives, so much of us have Negro husbands. You understand? What will we do? Stop this racial thing, Trinidad and Tobago. Let us move ahead. Let us move ahead and help this government bring us back to our feet. All these money, these fellas and them thief, all the money they get in COVID, They ain't give you none. They give this parish and them what living waters get all the money to help this parish and them. All these Venezuelans get help from living waters with our money that was meant for us. And we was lining up around Memorial Park, 4 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning, sitting down on a chair, rain, thunder, lightning, stuff to get a little bag of thing. And the government under Rowley and Penelope Beckles and them telling you to go and get a bank statement before they could give you $1,500 assistance. We have to go and get a bank statement and all these kind of things just to get some assistance from the government. I didn't see the Venezuelans going and get no bank statement to get no assistance from Living Waters and from the government. Our money was given to Living Waters over 50 million and more, so they could see what the Venezuelans and they could go in there at any time up to now, just walk in there and get something to eat, get a bag of groceries, get some financial assistance, some kind of assistance. They could still do it. We can't go in there now and do that. We can't go in there. We have to wait until they tell me, well, they have a food basket given away, and we have to go and line up like dog in the morning from Living Waters community right up to Memorial Park, down by Zen, across the road, across by the museum. Hundreds of people lining up there for how long to get a little bag. And we had beans and then what they give me, they can't even cook. You understand? It's hard. All to the pot. And Rowdy and them call that help. They get so much money from all around the world to help. And they never help no Trinidadian citizen. Never help them. They're telling us to go and get bank statement to get a little assistance from the government. What they do with all that money, boy? What they do with all that money? Let me believe. Let me be real. What Rowdy and them do with that money? More than put it in their pocket. All them places where they buy all outside. The home all about where they buy. Miami, all about Beverly Hills, where they buy the nice house. Where they buy it with not $300, had it be Forex. So they will be Forex gone. Buying nice homes for them all about the world. You understand? And all the businessmen to carry the country forward can't get none. So you know what? All the let me forget about pay them and move forward. And lock up who we could lock up like Imbot and them and the minister and the governor sent them back for holding back all the documents and not giving the woman to make a proper audit. Right? Let us get rid, let us lock them up. That's misconduct in public office. That governor of central bank. Right? Who never give the woman the papers. Now that we have to get the papers, let us make sure we get the papers by law. Let us do the right thing and get the papers. And when we prove him wrong and prove him incompetent, we will get rid of him. Right? So let's have a blessed day. Let us make laws that we could get rid of the crooked officers.
Good morning, Andy, Mickie, Lennox, and to everybody out there. Barack Poe, but Penny, shameless, weak belly, dead horse Penny, right, said that when she was campaigning with Foster Cummings, people were showing her new curtains, new fridge, etc. And they tell them that UNC gave them it. She tell them, well, take it from them and vote them out. That Penny, PNM give them nothing. But to tell them, take what the UNC given all you and vote them out. That is the kind of person she is. That is the kind, I don't want to say low life, right? To take from people, that's all right, take from them and don't vote for them. That's nice. But Lennox, when you teach 10 people something, and at least 2 listen to what you said and practice what you say, it is really feel good, Well, I felt so good this morning when I heard Krishna's contribution. He was calm, he was collective, and you could understand exactly what he was saying. He wasn't rambling and shouting and quarreling with everybody. No, he was good. But he was just repeating himself a little bit, but he was good. And for years, I've been telling PNMites to join altar classes, that adult education classes, and it's free. For years, I've been telling them. And now we have PNMites telling people to join altar classes. So you see, my work was not in vain. My work was not in vain. I feel so proud. At least to listen to me. And yes, PNMites, all you make full use of the altar classes. And again, I'll tell you all, it's free. Thanks a lot. Take care.
Lennox, good morning again. This is Krishna. I do not think Penny can make it as leader as the opposition for the PNM. No. Because remember she was there years. She said I'm gonna man and that Rowley. Sit by with Rowley. And this woman I see didn't really did nothing for the constituency of Arima where I live in. It's have a recreation ground right now, Lennox, as I speak. Pinto Road recreation ground, uncovered. No facility, no water, don't you have lights. You're going on a sports day and rain come down, you're getting soaked down. Look how long that Savannah so. And she's the MP for Arima for how much years? How much years? And look at the recreation ground. We can keep a good sports by Lennox. And this is the woman who is aspiring to be the Prime Minister trying to be under the PNM. Nah, I see failure with she. Penny fail. It takes others, government, to come in and do real things for Arima. You understand what I'm saying? New hospital, new station, new roads. Under who? Roger Samuel. 2010 to 2015. You remember that? So I not really see you and do nothing for Arima, your constituency, you know. The only day I see you is on the day before election, the Sunday before election. I did see you. So I want to tell you, Penny, I think it could go forward with the PNM. The PNM will have to stay there for the next 20, 25 years. Lennox, locked on listening.
Good morning, Lennox and UB. Somebody take that big stupid fake pasta. That Trinidad not swimming in no oil again. Tell them we have no refinery, we to refine no oil. Because the energy minister say we wouldn't get no big oil windfall if we have a war in the Middle East. He come out and talking and saying Trinidad go swim in oil. We could make plenty money. I wonder who told them that we have no refinery here. If we had a refinery, it's a different story. But then again, the collection of oil is low. Trinidad is more a gas-based economy. Whatever little oil barrels we get is next to nothing. So, fake pasta, do some maths now, boy. I know he wasn't that good in it, but do some now. We have nothing to get out of no war. Other than to sit down how much other country get rich. Because why? Your government shut down the refinery. So we have nothing at all to fall back on again. Until we get that refinery up and running. So, rock so with your foolish talk, fake pasta. Have a good day, Lennox. Good morning. This big visa time constipated pasta, so and so. You know what I'm talking about? Come, making a set of clips with the PNM asking the UNC questions, and they can't answer it. But I say they shouldn't answer none of the blasted questions. Why? Because when the PNM was in office and the UNC come to ask questions, they wasn't answering none. And the speaker, and I said, George, you just shoot down UNC with every question they come to ask. And I'm glad to see that this speaker shooting down the PNM when they come to ask questions. But he's saying like bias. It wasn't bias when Anna said George was doing the UNC that. Let them take it in their back pocket. And speaker, shame them, cut them down. Don't let them ask no question at all. The same way Anna said George was doing, you do them back. And don't answer none of the questions UNC because it's a waste of time. They want to answer all the questions. You need 7 weeks or how much. But they was there for 5 or 10 years and they wasn't answering half of the questions. Well, this shameless bunch of PNM. Shame on you too, Pastor. You're a biased, wicked man. Have a good day, Andy.
Andy Mickie, Lennox, Trinidad and Tobago Central here. Pleasant good morning. Andy here now. If you know how I enjoyed that sitting when I had last week there. Oh my God, the thing was nice. It nice? Yeah. Andy, here what I'm telling you now. I drink probably a bottle of coffee just to remain up to listen out how we performing, caring, understanding. Government dealing with this thing, cold-hearted, piping, sprung in hand of vision care on a country duncy-headed, stink-dead PNM government. Hey, why not be planning there's a give up the position or whatever they feel a hole in there, right? And just walk out at a parliament house, boy. At Chinbegonians, all they find so. If the citizen had one wish, we wishing for this plan, just to get up and walk out. Because it boils down now where Andy. This wicked, cold-hearted, stink, bad mind, wicked, cold PNM. Right? Them just shaming themselves, you know. Them ain't doing anything for anybody, you know. It reaches to where they're shaming their own self. While they're going and battle, what all they was there for the 9+ years doing? While they're going and say what all they should have done? Time for them thing done, gone. It expired. We sent all in the political cemetery 3/4 earlier. We don't know what some all is still on the outside zone. In the real world, in the real lifetime doing out here. Wasting precious time. We get rid of all it politically, and that is what good. You understand? But at the end of the day, we understand all they just thief there, so hold on. But the main fact is nobody don't want to hear it, and they see all your PNM, all they get to it now, man. Just take up all yourself and walk out and see all they give up because all they ain't making no sense. That is the whole thing about it, all they not making any sense at all. And the rest of Trinidad and Tobago don't want to see neither hear what all they're going to do. What all they're going to fight for. Penny ain't making a cent, she ain't making nothing out of herself. Just wasting time. You saying you're a leader, but them leading you more than the leader. So who really leading the blind? Man, I don't know why the whole of the PNM there's no wipe out herself and go in a corner and sit down and watch performance take place by a performing government. You hear? I love how the thing going. Thank God to we party. Thank God for we political leader. Thank God for our prime minister. I like how they're performing. You hear? Remember, people, we is one people, one nation, one love, and it's goodness we want in this place, and unity is the code. All right? So lock on and listen, Andy, and it's that.
All right. I have a good few more voice notes, but I want to converse with my social media crew for a couple seconds. So what happened? I plan to pick all the voice notes and make a snippet for you all to upload online. So that way, you know, you'll get all your voice notes for today instead of having it played again to play it over tomorrow. If you all like that option, you could just let me know. So I will put that on. I'll put that in, you know, in my feedback basket so I could pass it on to Andy when he comes in, right?
Yes, Andy, and I also forgot to mention, you see this thing with these school children and them? It really and truly sickening Trinbagonians. You understand what I'm saying? I tell you something on the social media, going through it, and you see this sort of fight with the school children and all this sort of senseless rubbish you see on the social media. It has upset my spirit for 2 to 3 days straight. First, I doesn't want to even meditate or see them thing. You understand what I'm saying? And I would like the authorities to get a little more serious, especially when you see the schools are over. We would like to see at least 2 to 3 police jeep surfacing where exactly these school children like to go and loiter. Let them not have a certain time to leave from this place. Either they call the parents or the parents coming for them. Trinbagonians, this is just a suggestion, Tell me if it making sense. It does be happening, but we would like to see it happening a little more regular. Right? And don't ask on a Friday, they must really and truly have vehicles stand on. So the minute that school children see it have authorities in possession and they set out, they wouldn't hesitate to do no kind of madness. Because the minute that it have no authorities around, the head start to shake. And we have to stop, make the head shake and let them know, hey, keep your head on your body. School is over, look to head right up the road. Head home, straight home. You understand what I'm saying? And people on the outside, if all they see something and all they know, they could put a helping hand towards it, try to assist as well too. I know there's a sensitive time that we're in, but be more sensitive as possible. Because I'm telling you, Andy, I have done a citizen arrest already, and the parents up to this day still yet cannot done thank me. And I didn't do that again, no thank. I do that because I know what this young lady was about to do is wrong. And I've been looking on to see what she was intending to do. You understand what I said? And it wasn't nice what she was intending to do. Right? She was going to break school, and you know how the thing does go. Right? So, At the end of the day, people, we as the adults in this place, when you see something, say something to the authorities and they take full control of it. And we would like the authorities to really act on something as soon as they get information, work on it one time. Right? So let us keep our heads above waters and stay focused and try to clean up this place. We can't just leave the government to do everything. If we could do something as citizens in this country as well too, so be it. So people remember we is one people, one love, one nation. Unity is the code all the way, and it's that.
And the children that getting on so in schools, they behaving like the PNM behave in government, how they used to treat with the opposition when they were in government. So the children is behaving exactly like them.
Andy, Monica, Lennox, Mickie, and yourself. Andy, I want to chat and I read, and from what I understand, Madras person who always right. I mean, it looked like she hate women, or maybe hate UNC, or she hate herself.
I cut that voice no short, y'all. The time is now 5:59. It's a minute to the top of the hour. And it's time now for us to say goodbye. See you later. And we'll see you all again tomorrow.
With Mickie K, Andy Williams, join Lennox Smith. The Ground Report with Mickie K, Andy Williams, and Lennox Smith.